What's up, everyone, and welcome to Metalcore Nerds. I'm your host, Sean Mott, and today, oh boy, do I have a team that I have assembled. We got my man, Rob Maramonte. What is up?
What's going on, everyone?
I have the dude who will bum every single person out on this channel, Ethan Harrison.
Hi.
Hey, man.
Hi. Hi there.
And then the Dark Knight himself, or whatever, Joey Stone. What's going on?
You're
cool. Great. Awesome. So a few things right off the bat. If you're new to Metalcore Nerds, whichever version you're watching this on, or if you're listening to the replay on audio, subscribe or like or whatever form you're on, just do it. That's cool. And if you're a returning person, awesome. You're great. Today is actually 1 year since I announced Metalcore Nerds.
Hey.
So that's pretty cool to me.
Hey.
Actually, Ethan and Joey were two of the first people. So that's cool. So if you want to go to metalcorenerds.com, all of the merch is half off with the code birthday. Yeah, half off. There's a few t-shirts left. There's some pins.
Wow.
It's cool. Yeah, why not? And more importantly, don't spend your money on that. Spend your money. Born Anew just posted a new shirt. It's a Stop Asian Hate shirt. It's on their Cold Cuts merch store, and all the proceeds are going to the AAAJ. So buy that before. But if you have money left over, I guess buy a cheap Metalcore Nerd shirt. The sale will be up for a week. So there's that. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
So we're here to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League, the movie that no one thought was real, and it is. We all watched it. And if you're not watching it, we're going to spoil the fuck out of it. So if you don't want to get spoiled, I guess leave and come back, but it's a long journey because it's 4 hours long. So
If you
can't
guess what happens in this movie before watching it, then you haven't been fucking paying attention.
just real quick, are we going to just glean over Ethan's enormous fucking thermos? Like that didn't happen? I'm not the only one who saw him put a 10-gallon iron fucking bucket to his mouth.
Hey,
like
dude, Joey,
exploring the Antarctic.
Do you try not to drink water? Are you against drinking water? Are you against hydrating? Because you sound like you're being a hydrationalist is what you're being, and I don't fucking
hydrationalist.
I drive for a living. My main job where I pay my taxes. I have that exact same thermos. I eat soup and lunch out of it.
You would eat fucking soup, Joey. You would eat
soup and lunch?
I can't pull over. I'm trying to
he just drinks soup because he's the most New Jersey person in human history. He's just drinks all things of...
I'm an Italian stereotype. I'm eating pasta 4 or 5 nights a week. Throw it in the fucking thermos. Boom, done.
I'm gonna continuously hydrate out of this thing. I spent $100 on this thing. I'm getting my money worth.
I have a completely reasonable sized hydro flask.
Listen, this has already gone off the rails, but rails. I'm not apologizing for being healthy. Okay, Joey. So get the fuck over it.
I'm just saying, where are you going that you need that much fucking water? Like, are you that far?
You're
from
supposed to drink water.
I could be. I'm watching Zack Snyder's fucking Justice League. I got to hydrate for 4 hours. I have to be prepared to not leave the fucking seat for half of my day, for half of my waking consciousness.
And then when it's empty, he has something to pee in.
Also true. Keeps my pee cold. So
I stand corrected.
Yeah, exactly. Suck it.
Shit.
So before we get super into this, I wanted to kind of talk about how this movie even came to be, because it's a pretty crazy story and it's very unprecedented in the movie world. So obviously the 2017 version came out, but before that movie came out, they were in the middle of filming, and unfortunately his daughter Autumn took her life, and that forced him and his wife is a very main producer on this film and a lot of his films. They left the project, but weirdly, Joss Whedon was already helping direct scenes before they left the project, which is a little weird. Yeah, it's a little fishy. It's a little weird.
I thought that happened after. I had no idea. I thought
he was like there helping. I don't know.
Helping making it hokey and fucking terrible. That Joss Whedon version is so bad. I know I'm jumping the gun here, but all right, continue going.
But no, that's fine. So And that led to the Joss Whedon did a million reshoots, which we now have seen, and that movie came out. And then Zack Snyder, which I'm pretty sure he just owns Vero because he's the only one who uses it. So that's my only guess as to why he posts on it, is that he owns it himself. And he just kept posting all these snippets and ideas for what his movie was supposed to come out and everything. And apparently he's never even watched the 2017 version. Christopher Nolan, who has been, he wrote the screenplay of Man of Steel, which is crazy. And he's a producer on this movie as well. And him and his Zack Snyder's wife were like, they went to the premiere and they're like, don't even bother watching it. Don't watch it. And he's never watched it. I guess he's come out now that he said he might watch it. But it's a fair thing.
Can I ask a question to Ethan?
Of course.
Sure.
Oh, God.
Or you're all musicians. You're in a band. You're writing an album. Halfway through, even no harm, no foul. Halfway through, you got to leave, and what you do is changed and replaced because that would probably have to happen. Do you listen to that album? Even just like train wreck look at, like, you know what I'm saying? And I can't even imagine what a visual medium, you know what I'm saying? And knowing like other people came in and fair point. Warner Brothers has fucked up so many of these movies. I'm not saying like, oh, it was this guy. Everyone's like, well, Warner Brothers wants to do this and Warner Brothers wants to do this. And they've just butchered other movies. So I would think the main director goes and you pull in Joss Whedon because why not? And Warner Brothers just doing whatever. It would be weird for me to listen to that album.
I would 100% listen to that album. I would 100% listen to the album. I wouldn't tell anybody about it. And I definitely wouldn't fucking post on the internet all the ways that I would change it, which is what Zack Snyder did, which is why, again, Zack Snyder has a bit of a bad taste in my mouth because I think he's a fucking douchebag. But that's just me.
If you have an artist's ego, and that was obviously you do.
I do.
They took his movie, and if I didn't know about this, I thought the suicide thing happened later. I didn't know that's why he left.
Yeah, it was like right in the middle of the movie.
I thought he left because he was like, you guys are fucking morons.
Yeah, right.
But if I fucking, you know what I'm saying? If I walked out of a fucking thing thinking like because of his daughter's passing, and then they're like, don't worry, we'll do the best we can. And it's a completely, like, now we even know how much fucking different it is. Like,
yeah.
What? And then Christopher Nolan, the guy who made people give a fuck about superhero movies again, goes, dude, just don't.
Right.
Don't even bother. Don't even bother.
There's nothing there for you. It's a fucking nightmare.
You know what? That's a good friend right there saying, you know what?
It is a fucking nightmare. It is truly a nightmare. Like that other version. But yes, I would. This has happened to me. I've left a band. They've made a record. I've listened to it after the fact and picked out all the reasons why I thought it was bad because I wasn't there. But I didn't tell everybody on Twitter. And I think that that's the cardinal difference here that we're discussing. I think that Zack Snyder went the most dickish route, but I would definitely watch it. I would watch it. I'd watch it and feel fucking warm inside. I'd feel warm inside when they shoehorn a bunch of horse shit, like the Flash being afraid to fight or whatever the fuck was going on in the old Joss Whedon version that now we're all just going to forget about.
Honestly, though, I think it's bullshit. I think he has seen it. I think he's just not telling anybody.
He's absolutely seen it. He's absolutely seen it.
That's a fair point.
He woke up every morning, watched it again. His wife's coming down in the middle of the night like, Zach, are you watching that fucking movie again? They took out Hogan's girl swinging into the ocean. They took it out.
That literally just happened. Also, just for the record, Joey, you weren't in the thing, but I put on. It's on right now on my TV. I'm watching Justice League, the 9-hour version right now, and that just happened. That girl just looks into the middle distance and sings in fucking Icelandic because of course she fucking does.
So listen, I am pro this movie. It's a slog at times. It's a slog at times for sure.
Yeah,
it could definitely have been cut down. The good stuff is really, really good. The regular stuff, pretty fucking cool. All of it is way better than that other thing. When I was watching that scene, I literally looked to my girlfriend, who was not even in the house, and go, "What the fuck is this?" I had no idea what was
out of nowhere.
You know, like, it's one thing, like, if he walks out of the water and they sing a celebratory song because Big Homie's back. Yeah, he's bringing the fish. He's like, fuck you, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, but a bye-bye song is a little strange.
Right? He fucking does a fucking ice on one knee and swims away, and they're like, like
I all thought it was like
that?
I all thought when Bruce Wayne was standing there and she starts singing, he just kind of going like,
Yeah, it's just like, I'm really uncomfortable with personal situations because my mom and dad got murdered in front of me, so I gotta back out of this. I gotta.
Yeah, I'm out of here about you.
His final segment was like, by the way, I'm not Batman. Just that was all.
That song was long. They stand out. They did like a fucking boom swing over, showing all these little blonde fucking children of the corn. I'm going, I'm thinking something's got to happen with this, right? Like this.
What is going on?
To something like they're gonna sing, and he's gonna be like, "All right, I'm gonna come back because you sung me the nice song that I like from Iceland." No, it was nonsensical.
Yeah,
that wasn't your guys' favorite song. That's my favorite song. How did they know?
To piggyback off of that, how many fucking people in this world know Bruce Wayne is Batman? Literally,
a lot. Apparently,
talking about that walking through like the village there.
It's not even a secret anymore.
Okay.
It's just fucking anybody just knows that it's Bruce Wayne. Like it's not even a fucking thing.
You're reading Weekly World News and you see the headline: Icelandic singing troupe declares Batman is Bruce Wayne. You go.
No, I believe
actually,
it.
That would be a way bigger story because the newspaper that falls is like or bank looking for new architect. So Icelandic people declaring Batman as Bruce Wayne would be a way better fucking story than that.
I believe it because my cousin's fucking husband already told me at fucking dinner the other day because every asshole in Metropolis knows the identity of a person who wears a mask and fights crime. Like every fucking asshole knows.
Let's be fucking real. Batman is gorgeous. And
That's
you
true.
See Bruce, you're in Gotham City.
Man.
You don't know Batman is at least Bruce Wayne's undiscovered brother.
That jawline?
Like,
I could pick that jawline out of the fucking lineup.
Come on. It's not as bad as Clark Kent just having glasses on.
Yeah.
But that's willfully bad. They're doing that on purpose. That is, I accept that. I'm like, okay, we all know it's stupid. But Bruce Wayne trying to act like he's not fucking Bruce Wayne, even though he has like a card that he gives to us Icelandic people that says, I'm Batman on it.
He pulled out a bundle of $100 bills and gave it to a kid in the thing. He's like, here you go, sweetheart.
Here's 25 grand, yo.
He hiked with all that money. He
on the horse.
All that money in his
Bruce Wayne, dude.
Yeah, he's just strolling across with whatever the fuck music Zack Snyder picked. Yeah, just walking across
he's got
fucking
a US
rocks.
Navy cargo jet that flies him to his own fucking jet. He rides to this city on a fucking horse. Take a boat, bro.
Where's the ATM? Where'd you get that from? Did you walk into a bank?
The Whedon cut and how just silly this scene is in the Whedon cut when he's asking for Aquaman, and then the Whedon cut, the camera pan behind this freaking like kindergarten like chalk drawing on the wall, like stick figure Aquaman in the ocean.
Yeah,
Like,
I vaguely remember some of that. I think I've pushed it down into my subconscious with like the memories of like my mom kissing Santa Claus and all that shit. That's all gone, and so is the Whedon cut. As well as all the dialogue from fucking Suicide Squad is all down there.
It doesn't make sense that he trekked out there on a horse. It doesn't. It doesn't bother me that much. But like Bruce Wayne just getting in a submarine, radaring to fucking, he's got video of him. He showed it to Wonder Woman and just dropping some depth charges or like a fucking Post-it note on a brick. Like, hey, Fishman, let's do something. I need 5 minutes, big homie.
Yeah, let's parlay, big cat. Yeah, exactly. And he knows who the fucking guy is. He's seen him on fucking video. And he's like, there's a stranger. Like, also, Ben Affleck, man, I can see the sadness in his eyes. The reason that he is a good Bruce Wayne, fucking Ben Affleck is the saddest person in the world because he fucking covered up for Harvey Weinstein for so fucking long that piece of shit can hardly get up in the fucking morning. And now he's fucking in this fucking movie and everyone's just going to act like it's cool. Fuck Ben Affleck. Fuck that fucking dude. And fuck that Batman.
I loved him as Batman, though.
It was good Batman.
I know nothing about that guy or his life or anything other than Good Will Hunting, Batman. That's my Ben Affleck fucking knowledge. But he's a good Batman.
Bathes in sadness. He bathes in sadness. Fuck
he always looks
dude.
miserable. He literally just constantly looks like
Everything about Ben Affleck is just Batman, and then him in that picture holding the big container of coffee.
The Dunkin'?
Yeah.
I got that. I've been there. I've been like walking into a job I fucking hate. They call you, cause you're late. Like, can you bring coffee? And you're like, because you can't say no.
No, you got to get the Dunkin'. You got to get the Dunkin'.
You got to get the Dunkin'.
Sean, you got to get back on your. I think you have a thing. You sent us a thing, and I was like, "This isn't gonna last." But
this doesn't even matter. I don't even know why I bothered taking notes for this.
We're only in the first 20 minutes of the movie, and it's
Anyway, he started posting on Vero. Then everyone's like, "Release the Snyder Cut," blah blah blah, and then it eventually happened.
Holy fuck,
and now we're here. It's
we're still cool. we're still here in the outline.
Yeah.
Holy fuck! All right, sorry. I'm gonna take a drink of my thermos. Keep going.
Or is it piss at this time? Is it piss or is it still water? Yeah, okay.
Probably can't tell this one anymore, huh? It's all
could be either.
But yeah, I had another thing about comparing the movie to the 2017 version, but I guess we can go along. Obviously, we've already talked about the beginning, the prologue, other than Superman dying and crazy. They take one scene to explain why the mother box is awake. They just did it in a scene, unlike in the other movie where they're just like, yeah, they're here, cool. Steppenwolf's here to get them, and that's it. Cool.
Yeah.
How does he know where to get them?
He just knows. Standing in front of some shit. Yeah, in the end of the Batman vs Superman.
So I've had people disagree with me. In my understanding of that movie, granted, I was fucking fever dreaming through fucking whatever. I was like, when Superman died, the mother box was like, okay, we got a window. Call my mother box crew that it's the time. Was that not what happened? Because other people I don't. Right.
I think that's what happened. I think that I mean, that's not really well explained, which is a note that I have. I'm looking at sports car Steppenwolf right now with the fucking changing color scheme. Yeah, with the changing color scheme with the paint job. I think that they are implying that him dying calls the mother box is called what's his nuts here, and that's how they know to come, but that wasn't very well explained. So
I kind of watched that scene earlier again because I was confused by that too, because a lot of people have brought up that, well, why would Superman really kind of only been Superman on this earth for, not very long? And, who Darkseid and whoever else was out, they were looking for the boxes. They could have found the boxes on Earth, eons ago.
Yeah.
But I guess
40 years ago.
Yeah. But I guess, when they were discussing bringing Superman back to life, that Bruce Wayne brought up the fact that Cyborg's dad had activated the box while Superman was still alive, and that brought Cyborg into being. And and those guys didn't even come.
But was that the same one? Wasn't it like the third one?
It's one of them. So I think any of the box. My interpretation is that any of the boxes could send out any kind of like signal or whatever to like those people looking for it.
What I don't understand is why did they respond to Darkseid? Like Darkseid acquired those and found those. He didn't make, because in the comics, Metron made those from the New Gods. Why are they like, all right, we work for Darkseid now? Or they don't explain why they like called to his.
I thought it was like his technology from Apocalypse or something. I thought that's how it was. Like it was his.
That's in my notes. The mother boxes make no fucking sense. How about we just take a step out and they make no fucking sense, and this movie is fine, but that makes no fucking sense.
Here's the thing
about comics, it makes sense. In the comics, Metron made a super AI. Like he's one of the new gods. It's all he does is just dumb, brilliant shit for shits and gigs. He made a mother box and a father box. And like, I think one of them likes Darkseid, the other one doesn't, or some such shit. So in the movie, like my dumb brain tries to like, well, obviously
put it together,
but it's not. I cut off Rob. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I think the reason why it's not explained is I feel like this film is the Age of Ultron of the DC film in terms of like it sets everything up that's going to come afterwards, or it was supposed to set everything up. So that's kind of why I think we probably don't get the grand explanation of what the mother boxes actually are and like how they came to be and all this stuff, because they're just here, when the movie starts.
Yeah.
Well, they showed the flashback. They showed how we got them here. The Darkseid tried to like win, and then like Jupiter and his kid and some
Jupiter.
Some like Green Lantern with a dinosaur head comes and like murders them, and they're like, well, just leave them. Just leave them. We're out of here.
Darkseid
God robot.
Green Lantern.
Yeah, was it like kind of set up that he brought them there to do it, to take out the planet?
When they in that opening battle, he's got them there. And
yeah.
Also,
Oh,
how
yeah,
funny was
yeah,
it?
true.
How funny was it that like they all go and everyone makes like these massive vaults for him, and the humans are like, "How about a hole? We could put it in a hole."
Yeah,
That was the best.
Even deep.
That's the best
part,
way to do it.
dude.
No, it wasn't even deep. For one frost heave, and that thing's whoop right back up into the
Yeah,
fucking right into our consciousness. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's like when a cartoon dog buries a bone. Like they would probably
just
around and just dumb Vikings. Like, yeah, we're good
I
underground.
know, but
Yeah, we're good.
that would have made sense. Okay, so what I thought they were going to do there, which they did not do, but I'm just making a movie myself, is that they what the fuck is that? How the fuck does that happen? Did you see that?
I can show
Guy
comments
in the chat.
I didn't.
Wow.
That hole was not.
I can
2
show
feet.
comments.
There's no way that hole was 2 feet.
It's less than
Unless
2
that
feet.
box was like
I'm about to see it.
3/4 high.
I'm about to see it. I'll tell you.
Honestly, they should have just put some leaves over it. That
Leaves
would have been better, you know?
Listen, if they had Genghis Khan that shit, right, and they had buried it, and then you saw a scene of all of them killing each other, I'd have been like, respect, because you'll never find that fucking box. If it's in the middle of fucking nowhere and everybody's dead, who knows where it is. But to think that like they could have just not, they just dug that, like they dug that dog hole and then they just put a box in there.
Dog
and then
hole.
20 guys fucked off and no one went back and no one was like, I'm gonna take that. Like I'm gonna take that box. That's insane.
Was it specifically to show that like the humans were still dumb as fuck compared to the Atlanteans and the Amazons?
No, because the fucking Amazons put it in. The Amazons just put it in a fucking room. They just put it in some room.
No, they made that big thing, that big homegirl fucking.
Yeah, and they're like,
out, and the thing came down, and the Atlanteans had some weird octopus doing some shit.
We'll put this into water. I'm sure that'll stop these gods that we saw come off of a fucking spaceship when we fought them. Like, yeah, right.
Listen, even
they're guarding it with spears. They're guarding it with spears.
Okay, but the humans put it in a fucking shithole, like in a fucking latrine.
Constantly. Look at they're like, do they have a 24-hour a day guard on that box with spears to do what with?
They're 100%. Like, that's their thing. They're like Spartans. They're like,
they had arrows.
Yeah, the Amazons are no joke. Like that.
Yeah, I'm watching them get their fucking days rocked. This dude's throwing fucking horses around. Yeah, you're not stopping this guy with a fucking spear.
We've gotten a half hour into this, and Ethan hasn't even said that he liked the movie. So he needs to address that he liked this movie.
I thought you were going through. I thought you were doing an intro. I don't know. I was waiting. This is the reveal that no one cares about. I tried to do this
it.
This is the reveal. This is the reveal that you fucked up, Sean, because I texted you and you couldn't fucking hold your load long enough to not post this thing on fucking Facebook. The movie was good. Ethan, I liked the movie.
Listen, don't feel bad because Sean was dumb enough to put you and me in the same fucking pot. Poor Rob looks shell shocked. Poor Rob is just and Sean looks like his eyes gonna roll back and his head is gonna black out, and we're just going.
Yeah,
I was prepared.
I don't know how close to the West Coast you were born, but obviously much closer than Joey and I, because this is a fucking train wreck of loud East people. That's all we are. Just
Boston
screaming.
moron meets New Jersey moron. There will be screaming.
Rob, you're doing great. Rob, you're doing great.
I like that comment, man. Just whole movie. This whole thing is us yelling about digging a hole.
Listen, a lot of these problems could be solved if they dig like another 4 feet. Anything.
Marvel Infinity War could have been renamed Much Ado About Snapping. That entire fucking movie is about snapping fingers. Literally,
Marvel. I don't think we should go
obviously, you talked about the mother boxes kind of not being really explained that well. But
making no sense for sure.
Anyone saying, "Oh, it's a movie about 3 boxes," like fuck off. We all fell in love with a movie about 6 stones that a purple fucking dude, put in a glove and he snapped. So if we're gonna talk about ridiculousness of like comic book movies, they're all fucking ridiculous. Like,
but if you want to break, if you want to break movies down to like their bare essentials, you could say Shawshank Redemption is a movie.
I know they're all stupid.
Like that's not.
They're all dumb.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's anyone saying that is just chill. Just chill the fuck out.
The Infinity Stones in the Marvel comics, there's a group of people that are like the Infinity Quest, the Infinity War. It's the movie.
Oh, yeah.
That was when they were going for it. Those comics sucked dick. Just so you know.
Dude, the Infinity Gauntlet comic arc is bad. Like, it's not good.
It was written by good people. It's fun. There's some really cool shit, but it's corny as fuck. Like the people who had those stones, one was a satyr. He was like a midget with goat legs. The other one was the worst version of Drax. you've ever. It was a literal Space Marvel pre-Guardians of the Galaxy comic.
Trash.
Dick.
Yeah, it's
and
trash.
In the 70s,
Trash.
they thought it was good. Hot garbage. And the Infinity was like, Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock sucks dick. When they were showing that shit, oh, that egg, that's Adam Warlock. I hope not. Step on it. I don't want to see that dorky motherfucker. Everyone's got like pointy shoulder shit. Like, ugh. What a trash. It's garbage. But the movie was awesome.
I'm going to limit say a lot of Marvel comics are garbage, including the entire Iron Man canon before Robert Downey Jr. made him worth a shit.
Me and my brother have said this a million times. There are superheroes we love in concept, but they work better movie and TV than they do comics. Iron Man is one. Doctor Strange is another. I love Doctor Strange because he's a wizard. In the comics, I want to see, the devil has come to Earth and he's brought all of hell. Doctor Strange shows up in someone else's comic, sick. I don't want to read Doctor Strange. Oh, it's an infinite myriad of universes. And
right.
I don't
Listen,
care.
I love chaos magic, but you don't want to read about it. I assure you. There's nothing that you don't want.
In a book, even a book of it might be better. But in a comic, it does nothing for me. You know?
All right.
But
we're refocusing.
Okay. All right. Yeah, refocusing. All right. So let's kind of dial it back since we went through, the movie because it's 4 hours long. But let's talk about our general feelings of the movies, and then we'll kind of go back into some of this, I guess. I don't know. Let's just talk about our general feelings, and then maybe we'll go with our gripes. Let's just see where this goes. So, Rob, since these two fucking idiots are just yelling over you, let's go with your feelings of the movie first, and then we'll carry on.
My overall feelings after I finished watching it was I really, really enjoyed it. I thought for a 4-hour movie, which I was not expecting to really like, I thought it was paced very well. I think we kind of touched on it earlier too, that I feel like there's a lot of stuff that could easily have been just like trimmed out. There's a lot of stuff I feel like just didn't need to be in there, I liked the characters in this movie I liked the most. I really, really fucking like Steppenwolf in this movie a lot more because he was just like a 90s cartoon in the version. And this one, I was just like, this actually sounds like probably like, what they taught. Hearing Kieran Hines' actual voice, like, being like pretty menacing and memorable, I think too. I remember I can like hear his voice, in my head, just like, thinking back to the film. And I liked Cyborg was obviously really well done, because his entire, his whole involvement in this movie was completely just, thrown away in the other one. So, and I pretty much agree that he's like the heart of the film, when it comes down to it. His powers are explained, which is pretty cool. Like, he's just kind of there in the other movie. He's just like, he's a cyborg. He can do all this stuff, but like they give a good like deep dive into like what he can actually do and the implications of what he can do, So when I was watching, I was like, dude, I worry more about Cyborg, going rogue than Superman because he's got access to everything.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch Young Justice, the new Young Justice cartoons? They kind of came out.
I actually have.
That actually fucked me up because they deal with a lot of this stuff also. So it kind of like flavored what I'm trying to remember from the movie. They handled the Cyborg origin really fucking cool. Like when Cyborg first is born, he's fucked because the father box is in him and he's like Terminator, blah, 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 blah. And it makes sense.
Right.
I loved Cyborg in this movie and I was never a huge Cyborg fan, but and I've seen his origin story like this identical in the comics. I really fucking dug it. And I know I dug it because I hated his fucking design. Cyborg's design in this movie sucked. It was so bad. It was shiny and weirdly shaped so that when he moved, you almost couldn't see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that them making him way more robot-y than human-y as opposed to being usually like 50-50 actually helped the story. Because it made him less human, except for that part of the face. But I agree with everything Rob said. I was like, this is fantastic. And one step further, Flash. In the first movie, I'm like, all right, he's a goofy. I love the Flash from the cartoons. I like, and I didn't get it. It was not enough for me to like dig him. And I'm like, he's just here for comic relief. They didn't really blow up the Flash here, and it was the Flash's origin. They didn't really give you a lot of what like his motivations were, and they had a lot of opportunity to do it like dealing with the murder of his mom by his dad, who he's trying to help and saving people and being kind of a dipshit.
Mm-hmm.
But I still gave a shit now about I like that Flash. You know what I mean?
Totally.
It wasn't a quarter of what they did for Cyborg.
And I wanted to add too we bring up motivations. I think they brought motivations for Steppenwolf too. Like I actually kind of felt for Steppenwolf in this movie when he was talking to Darkseid, and he was just kind of I was like, dude, homie's just trying to go home, man. He's been stuck on this planet, do the deeds for everyone back home. And I was just kind of that's where I would really dug the performance aspect of Steppenwolf, and I feel like that goes all to Kieran Hines, and how he kind of I don't know what they did. I don't know if it was all motion capture or but I mean just his voice work and seeing his facial expressions, talking
way
to
better
home,
I didn't give a fuck about him in the first movie. I'm like, that's the bad guy.
He was pointless.
He was just a pawn in the first movie, yeah.
Darkseid was fucking perfect, and they didn't really go into that because he was totally like David Spade in Coneheads, where it's I'll just take that from you, and all he's trying to do is get right with Darkseid, and he's got this dipshit middleman nah, bro, you still suck. I mean, I'd love to tell him you're doing great, but you're not. Of course he's enraged, and he's I'm gonna be great. No, homie. Sorry.
The only thing I wanted to know was, what did he do to betray Darkseid?
I wanted to.
That's the only thing I wanted to know. Because obviously you see the motivation and everything like that. That was he wants to get back in with him, but it's what the fuck did he do to piss him off? That's all I want to know.
So what I thought they should have done was, in the beginning, in the opening assault, they should have somehow attributed the loss to Steppenwolf. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is this is my fucking do-over. I found out the fucking anti-life equation. I got that. That's not nothing. People who don't read the comics don't know. Him finding the anti-life equation
big deal.
Yeah.
Fuck the boxes. The boxes are fine. But the anti-life equation is the end of the world poem. It's a big fucking deal. So that's how I think, hindsight's 2020. What the fuck do I know? But even without that, I really I got Steppenwolf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even with his fucking air conditioner vent outfit, I was all right, well,
I was down with all that, man. Honestly, I mean, compared to what he looked like in the other one, he
looked weird as fuck.
Did you see the side by side of when he threw the
it's wild
Superman?
Yeah,
and it's just Steppenwolf's hand, but you see the original version, this version, you're that hand sucks. It looks dude. It looks like a sleeve of whatever that flippy shit was. It was, and I was ew. A hand, it was such night and day.
I felt like they undermined. I agree. That opening battle. Well, I guess it wasn't even really opening because it hasn't even fucking happened yet. I'm watching this thing.
Little ways.
It's 40 fucking minutes in or whatever. But the battle, they kind of undermined in the same way that Marvel did with Thanos. They undermined how strong Darkseid is. He got kind of spanked, and it's I'm not really scared of this Darkseid.
Dude. He's supposed to be Uxas then, and it's before he takes the Omega Force and becomes fully Darkseid. They don't explain that.
No one fucking
which they should have.
So you're just looking at him and you're this dude's kind of a punk. He gets beat up.
Get his ass beat.
Yeah, he gets beat up by Pluto or whatever. Yeah.
So, and that was the thing. It was
Ares and Zeus.
It wasn't even Green Lantern. They introduce Green Lantern and kill him immediately. They're oh, look, a Green Lantern. Nope, he's gone.
Nope, he's dead. And then
they do another one.
Maybe I'll be a Green Lantern.
And the ring, the best is the ring could have stayed out. It bugs the fuck out. They're yo, homie.
Yeah. I'm out. I love that. That was a cool touch. And it was wait, nope, bye.
I'm gonna go find another person to make into a space cop. Because Green Lantern's a fucking space cop.
Nothing doing here. This place sucks. I thought that they showed Hades there to set up a villain for Wonder Woman later, because Hades, Ares rather, has become a big player in the comic books for Wonder Woman.
Well, he's the villain in Wonder Woman.
He's the villain in the first one. He kills him.
Really?
She kills him.
He's the craziest thing about Wonder Woman 1 is that the ending is so bad. No one even remembers the villain.
I have no recollection.
But the rest of the movie is it has the iconic moment. Everyone's oh, I loved Wonder Woman. And I was like, do you remember the ending? They're like, no, I don't. I was like, do you know that Ares was the villain? They're like, who? And I'm like,
also
exactly.
Germans weren't Nazis then. We're just glancing right over that piece of history that Wonder Woman's like, she's fighting Nazis. It's like, no, that's World War I. She's not actually fighting Nazis, but
just regular Germans.
Just regular Germans. Yeah.
Nazi asshole Germans for no good reason.
Exactly. Franz Ferdinand, you know what I'm saying? Like fucking Kaiser Germans. This is different Germans. Yeah. So, okay, Rob.
That music does get me hyped, though. I will say, I don't know why. That's
why they put it fucking music everywhere.
I don't even know why I like it. It just gets me amped up. I'm like, yeah, let's go bounce the fucking lasso off someone's head.
Take me out, dude.
Let's bounce this lasso that I'm going to explain in painful detail every fucking time that I use it. I'm going to wrap somebody up in it and then tell you that it's the lasso of truth and you can't lie, just in case anybody forgot, because this movie is 5 hours long. Anyway.
She's a piece of ass, though, ain't she?
Oh, man. Gal Gadot is the most gorgeous human being in the... Get out of town.
My Wonder Woman has, like, shoulders. She's a little muscly, but a good face.
Right.
Like, I want more of, like, a... But if I have to settle... You're going to give me a skinny Wonder Woman? Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah. I would eat a bowl of Gal Gadot's hair.
That's disgusting. What the fuck is wrong with you?
So wait, Rob, are you good with your fucking me and Joey rant again about what we thought of this movie?
I feel so bad. I think I'm probably gonna call Ethan after this and scream at each other on the phone about this.
My neighbors are like, "What the fuck? What is this kid doing? Why did we live next to this fucking lunatic?
Why?
Yeah, why is this kid yelling about Justice League and eating hair?"
I mean, all right, so I guess I'll say my thoughts. I don't know if that even matters.
Yeah, John.
Anymore,
yeah,
but...
Sean. No, you're the Flash. You're the Flash, dude.
We're talking for 41 minutes.
This is what you wanted. This is the Snyder of this podcast.
I loved it. Yeah, this is the Snyder cut of this podcast. Exactly. So yeah, I love this movie. I kind of thought I was gonna like it going into it. I had high hopes that it would be better than the 2017 version, which isn't a high bar, because I walked out of that movie and I was like, what just happened? Because obviously they rushed to a team up movie 1,000% but any team up movie should not be 2 hours long. That is stupid as fuck. 2 hours. It ended and I was like, it's over? What even happened?
You wanted more of that? You wanted more?
You were no, like, I was just like, it was just like, it's over. Okay, cool. I guess I watched that.
The original Joss Whedon version was like if they colored in a comic book, but with crayons. That's what that reminds me of. That movie is the dumbest version of the dumbest shit that this like civilization has ever come up with.
I have a question for you guys that I was thinking about after. Do you think that those chapter breaks made the movie more consumable? Because I'm thinking back to it now, and I'm like, it kind of helped. I don't know what it was, like a subliminal thing when they just kind of stopped. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I think that was a good fucking move, especially if you watch it again. It's like, all right, go take a piss, get your popcorn.
Yeah.
Like the worst.
If they barreled through all of that content, it wouldn't have been. You couldn't have taken all that. If they just went straight on through, you couldn't have done all that. And with the chapter breaks, at least I was like, okay, Aquaman told Batman to fuck off. Next thing.
Next thing.
Yeah, exactly. The Flash hasn't been in this movie. It's been 40 minutes. It's been 45 minutes.
Another thing, it's more than, and like what you were saying, Sean, about a fucking team up movie being 2 hours. It's not just a team up. It's not just a team up movie. They're origining the Flash and Cyborg.
Yeah,
you know and Aquaman.
And Aquaman too. Yeah.
Oh, Aquaman wasn't out yet when this happened.
No. Yeah, they did it after.
That's another episode. Let's do Aquaman.
That movie is not good.
We're not going to talk about that. I love that movie, but I will say that
I love it too. But like, I love it in the way that like my ex-girlfriend used to spit on me in my sleep and call me a bitch, like and try to hurt me. Like I was like, remember that? It
was bad for me. It was bad for me, and I liked it.
My brother, exactly. My brother was like, the guy from the Fast and the Furious directed this. I went, perfect. Sea monsters, we're riding shrimp. There's a fucking,
he did.
There's a kaiju here. We're underwater. We're breathing. None of the hair's moving. It's fine. I'm like, let's go.
God.
Let's fucking go.
Jesus Christ.
Crazy.
Anyway,
sorry.
This movie actually set up that movie, which was cool because they cut out all of those scenes. It's just crazy to see because from my knowledge, the only thing that they reshot to put in this movie was that big piece of the epilogue, which we'll fucking get to. Don't talk about it yet, for Christ's fucking sake. Because I'm sure that's going to be a fucking hour conversation by itself. So all of this stuff that was in the main movie, he shot already. He just had to finish. So it's crazy to me that the studio and Joss Whedon were like, let me look at all this footage. Yeah, I'm going to take everything out that makes this movie just make any sense and makes it good. And I'm just going to take it all out. Fuck it.
They wanted that easily consumable Marvel movie. They wanted that Marvel movie that just goes down easy, baby. You want to put something on that you don't have to think about? Ant-Man and the Wasp. Boom, baby. They're talking about quantum mechanics, and I can watch that movie while I'm fucking like cooking dinner. It doesn't fucking matter. That's what they wanted.
Do you think that like? Sorry, Rob. Go ahead.
Oh, so we're going back to like why they probably didn't do it. I think that watching this movie, if you showed Warner Brothers, a rough edit of this movie that we all saw, that we all liked too. Honestly, though, like with the reception that BVS got, which wasn't hot, I would be like, and they watch this and they're like, this is just more of that.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
I kind of understand why they would have wanted to come in and like tinker a lot of
BVS had problems, but got a raw deal. BVS is not as bad as people make it out to be. And I watched it before this again because I really, really liked Man of Steel. I thought that movie was fucking fantastic. And I like it more now.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, when Superman is back alive again and he's coming back and he hears Kevin Costner and Russell Crowe talking to him as the dual dads, I'm getting choked up. I'm like, fuck, that's right, because Kevin Costner was in that movie for 8 minutes.
I actually have a little bit of issue with that scene, but I like all of it, but I had issue with it. We should talk about that when we get to it.
Sorry.
But yeah, and I think that's why. So I think when they looked over his rough cut and they're just kind of like, we're probably just like, bruh, people are going to be like, this is
I'm currently watching a fucking.
Also, I don't agree with this at all.
I'm watching.
I live on that island alone. I live on that island alone.
They said that there's a cohesive cut of Batman vs Superman, which if it's better than the original one, I'll watch it. I didn't.
The Ultimate Edition is so much better. I think. To me. It's like a half hour or an hour longer. It's like 3 hours long. It's really long. But
did you see the picture that Snyder posted of all the hard cases when they said we're doing the Snyder cut, and he just had cases and cases of film? Do you think he just like rolled that shit into Warner Brothers and they're like, homie, those last 6, just throw them out. I don't even care what's on them. There's no way.
I was about to say to speak to what Rob was talking about. If I was a studio executive and you showed me what I just watched, which is Aquaman walking into the ocean to a fucking Leonard Cohen song, I'd be like, no fucking way. I'd be like, get this the fuck out of here. There's no fucking way I'm releasing this fucking thing. You'd be out of your mind. This movie would have never. This movie makes no sense. No. Here's a hot take, Sean. Here's a hot fucking take. This movie isn't good unless the original Justice League is as bad as it was. This movie is not good.
It's definitely made better. It's definitely. I will agree 1,000%. It's definitely made better. But I think it's good, but it's made better because of that. That's what everyone should do. Put out a shitty fucking movie and go, now how about the good version? Like,
I just don't. I don't think that would be able to happen because, like we said an hour ago, that the circumstances surrounding this were very different. You know what I mean? It's not like everyone, like David Ayer being like, let's get the Ayer cut. And it's like, nah, dude, even though the studio messed with your cut or what the fuck ever happened, your daughter didn't commit suicide in the middle of it. And then you left the project and then it got drastically changed and then you came back. It's not the same thing. It's not.
We don't all get to make sucky art and then make it better and then release it and act like we didn't make the sucky art. Yeah. That makes no fucking sense. Like that's not how this works. It's the same reason that Endgame makes no fucking sense. And Sean's like, well,
no.
After
do not get down that fucking road, motherfucker.
Like, no.
Ethan wants to hard right into Marvel so bad. He's like,
no. I'm sorry. It's my strong suit. It's my strong suit. I've read those comics. All right. Anyway,
here's the thing too. I think this movie also is that it had a big challenge of, like I said, setting up an origin story for a bunch of characters. Now we have to think too, like there's a vast movie going audience that probably is not in this bubble that knows all these characters' origin stories from comics. So we got a lot of like mom and dads just taking their 2-year-olds probably to go see a movie like this that have no idea, Aquaman or Superman Action Comics, 155 or whatever. So like have a job to like sell these characters and like introduce them to like just a general audience. So that's why I say like when whoever he showed a portion of his cut to WB executives, they're probably just like, we got to do something about this. We're introducing 3 new characters essentially in one movie and have to make a team up film of all these idiots.
But this movie shows that if they had just held their load for fucking 3 more movies, they could have delivered something that was unique from what Marvel was doing, which Marvel is doing the easiest shit possible and just handing it to you on rapid fire because you're just happy to have it because the 3rd X-Men movie was so bad. And then
that was in Marvel. That was Fox. That was Fox's.
Fair,
Fox,
but I'm just saying,
Fox,
everybody
Warner
sees it
Brothers their shit too. They're like, what are they doing? We don't know. Like,
we don't know. Here's an origin film about somebody that you already know the origin of. But this movie shows that if they had just made R-rated, hard-edged comic book movies that were probably a little too long, like you would have had a market for that. That would have been sick because the people who consume comic book movies are us. We are. I know that like Spider-Man is the most popular comic in the world because little kids like Spider-Man. But on the grand scheme, like nobody fucking knows who Desaad is besides a bunch of nerds that listen to like screaming music. That's it. So what the fuck?
No one knows who Granny Goodness is,
Yeah.
They showed her. I got jacked. I saw. I was like, because I would love to see an old woman just beat the shit out of like punching the floor. Imagine like Granny Goodness punching Flash in the face, like in a real movie, like not like. I'm like, that's fantastic. That's just fantastic.
The thing about this movie being 4 hours, and we had a little powwow together before we went live, and if he's even said in interviews, if this was getting a traditional theatrical release, obviously it would not have been 4 hours. I think this was him just being like, I'm putting in whatever the fuck. Anything I shot, it's in the fucking movie. Me moving hot dogs out of this girl's face in slow-mo. Oh, you want to see this seed falling off a fucking hamburger bun in slow-mo? Well, it's fucking in there. Like, I posted this graphic in the Facebook group. And if you're not a part of the Metalcore's Facebook group, join it. We post a bunch of nerd news and memes.
People get really mad at me.
Yes, people get really mad at Ethan. That's normal. Because he'll post like once every 2 months, and it'll just be Ethan doing this, and everyone's just like, "Fuck you, asshole!" But it's fun. I love it. And
you're welcome.
10% of this movie was in slow motion. 10%, 24 minutes. So you could easily, and I get obviously the Flash shit needs to be in slow motion. But one thing about that is if everything fucking else is in slow motion, it makes the Flash shit in slow motion not as fucking cool. Like that Themyscira scene when Steppenwolf shows up is so fucking badass. But the whole thing is in slow motion. It does not need to be in slow motion. That fucking girl backflipping and shit doesn't need to be in slow motion. They could have chilled
running up the wall.
So
to do a thing that she really could have just done on the like. She should just.
But they got to understand is the Amazon's. And I try to explain this. You're trying to explain to people that God people are moving. Amazon's it's not just Diana and her mother. Like regular Amazons, they're not Wonder Woman, but they're still superhuman. You know what I mean? So you got this thing where you're trying to express, because if they weren't, that whole Themyscira getting attacked scene is 20 seconds. Like because it's a wrap. So how do you express? And I think what I would have done is like maybe shown a normal person watching it and seeing it look like a blur and then showing them to kind of show the difference maybe. But like, how do you show how fast, like, you know what I'm saying? Or trying to show like, this is a big deal. Trust me. Like
there was a good point. There was a good point. A podcast I was listening to brought up, and it's like, what if they made everyone else's slow-mo besides the Flash, like a little faster? To kind of show the difference. You know what I mean? Like he's in the fucking Speed Force.
Yeah.
You know, like
that Flash was way too fast for first version Flash.
Well, it's not supposed to be first version Flash though. That's like the whole point of him building the suit.
People say I pick apart movies. I love that about go Joey. He was too fast. I like that.
I'm just saying they could have used it as a reason to like dead stop. The humans would never. It wasn't like that. You know what I mean? It's not that crazy when he was a kid. You know what I'm saying? It's just I'm not like, listen, it was a lot of slow-mo. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like it was. But I'm trying to think, how would I have done it better? And what I've seen, how would I express it? I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I mean, none of us know. None of us are filmmakers.
But we've seen every fucking nerd movie ever
we've
made.
consumed a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino never went to fucking film school. He just watched movies. That's what I'm saying. All right, so an hour and 1 minute to get to this Darkseid battle scene. We're saying this in the beginning of the movie. This is still arguably the first quarter of the movie, but yeah, it's been 1 hour, and now they're showing Darkseid. Yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there because it's playing. So here we are. Joey, have you even said what you fucking think of the movie yet?
I think we both did at the same time.
I liked. And I want to just so, because I know I'm kind of new. Let me express to you. I will go into a nerd movie, and 5-10 minutes in, I'm going to be like, "This is not a well-written movie." I'm going to sit and just enjoy the other shit and zone out when they talk. Like when everyone's like, "Batman vs Superman sucked," I usually don't let that shit affect me. I went in, I'm just like,
no,
I'm gonna watch Batman ninja punch people. I'm gonna watch Superman punch people, and that's fine. Like just clips of battles and shit. I'm happy just watching it. Will I watch it again later? No. I thought with this movie, I was like, that's what I'm gonna, but it wasn't. Like it was way too long. They needed to cut it down. But what I think was there was that that Snyder cut hype. HBO Max just launched with their DC hub. And they're like, how can we get some serious shit onto these subscriptions? They called Zach. They go, do you want to do a Snyder cut? He's like, yeah, well, listen, homie, do whatever the fuck you want. Like, there's a bag of money FedExed on your front porch. Go fucking crazy. Because they have first, second year streaming app money. Like, they're trying to push it.
Yo, he didn't get paid.
And they went, bullshit. Don't give me that.
No, he didn't.
Bullshit. Bullshit. He didn't go back in and redirect those special effect changes, of which there were multiple, reshoot that, and he didn't do that for shits and gigs. Like he did. I'm sorry, but you also, as we're all creatives, everyone in this room, HBO comes to you as an artist and goes, do whatever the fuck you want. Just let us. Like, here's the card, honey. Like, do it. That's
the card, honey.
That's how you get a 4-hour movie of Zack Snyder going, fuck him. We're going to look at this hot dog bouncing off the fucking thing. Because that's, in my mind, that's what it should be. Like, usually you got people going, relax. Like, just, you're at 10. We need you at a 6. Zack Snyder's, woo, hot dogs and fucking swimming people. And Willem fucking Dafoe's here, too. I forgot.
Looking spritzed. Just looking like you just got freshly spritzed.
Exactly. It's like also armor. I'm changing all this armor, all of it.
Fuck the talk bubbles. I hate the fucking talk bubbles.
Hey, we got to chat, and then expand out a talk bubble.
We got to do it every time they talk. It's like,
they don't do it in the Aquaman movie.
That's such a good way to like Mera, like, and her powers, because Mera's power set is fucking sick and different from Aquaman. But now I fucking hate her because of fucking her being just the worst person ever. And
I was gonna say her powers are punching Johnny Depp right in his mouth.
Exactly. And I love Mera, and I'm just like, you're ruining everything.
Yeah, I didn't like seeing her. And here you go, Sean. Her in the epilogue pissed me off too, because I was like, this fucking broad. I hate her. Broad's not right.
And it's just she's one of my favorite DC characters. Like before Waterbenders, there was Mera, and she's sick. Like, she's a total beast. Like, Wonder Woman is like, I don't want to fight her. Like, I will, but I don't want to. You know what I mean? So I get to see her. And she's
her taking the blood out of fucking Steppenwolf's head was badass. That was nuts.
That's shit they do in the comic that's so fucking sick. But like when they make the air bubble to make them fall, like, that's cool as shit.
Yeah,
that was. Yeah, I like that too.
You know, like.
How hard must he be punching to be able to punch through water? You ever tried to punch somebody through water? It's really fucking hard. That's all I could think during that whole scene.
I have a little brother, so yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's really fucking hard. You know, to displace a bunch of water and land a punch, that's really hard. They must be really strong. That was my one thought.
That was some Sub-Zero shit. Also, I really can't glance over that. My wife Sam made an appearance in the chat saying a room I would never want to be trapped in, and that's actually just Rob.
Right Rob, that doesn't apply to you. That doesn't apply to you. And she's always trapped in a room with Sean, so that's literally just for Joey and I. That's actually just us. They just finished the battle. We're finishing battles. Is it my turn?
It has to be Rob. It has to be Rob's turn. It has.
I thought you already talked about what you thought.
I cannot, in good conscience, not let it be Rob's turn. Like Rob, I feel so like I'm so sorry. Like, say
Rob, I want to hear.
Rob, I'm not sorry. Rob,
I want to hear. I think I've heard the West Coast thoughts this movie. I want to hear the East Coast thoughts this movie, and I'm getting it for sure, full blast right now.
Beautiful.
But what do we talk about next now? Like, what,
Rob, let's go. Wait. Okay. Yes, Ethan.
I liked this movie. It is a good movie. It is fun to watch. I enjoyed it. Okay. There were some issues. Obviously, there's going to be issues. The main issue is that any movie that takes 4 hours to make any fucking sense isn't a great movie. It can't be a great movie. And it is,
come on,
subject
4 hours to make sense.
Fuck yeah, it did. The other one didn't make any sense, and it was 2.5 fucking hours. So we had to add an hour and a half.
The bad guy's here to get the boxes to make the world gross for Darkseid. It's happening.
Arguably,
you didn't need 4 hours to understand that.
They had 4 hours, and it still doesn't make complete sense because none of us can explain what the fucking mother boxes were doing. We have no fucking idea what all that was about. We don't know where it's from. We don't know what's going on with it. So it took 4 hours for it.
I know he's got them.
Yeah, exactly. It took 4 hours for it to make 85% sense, which I accept because every other DC movie thus far, they're burying this fucking box. They're burying the box. I don't know if you can see it, but they're burying the box right now.
There's the hole. There's the hole.
That's like a 4-foot hole. That's like a 4-foot hole. All right. Anyway, so this movie, it didn't make total sense, and it had
confirmed 4-foot hole.
Do so. Yes. So that is one issue. The Flash looked stupid when he ran.
Yes.
Still enjoyed his character. He actually might be my favorite character in the whole movie. I actually love the fucking movie.
Oh.
But he looked very stupid when he runs. Mara sucks. That's just the woman who plays Mara sucks.
Also, she has a British accent for no reason.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that too. Yeah.
Well, listen. There are different countries underwater. Everybody's got a different thing going on. Willem Dafoe comes out just sounding like Willem Dafoe. No change.
Well, it's more because in Aquaman, she does not have a British accent.
I would argue that if you're in it,
is she British? I have no idea.
Maybe that's just some flair she decided to bring to the fucking table here.
She's like, I'm going to act in this one.
Here comes.
I'm going to put a little spice on this one.
Okay, so I have no problem with the fact that we didn't really get anywhere with Batman as far as his character arc. He's still just doing the Tony Stark thing, which is the something's coming for 3 hours, which is fine. Wonder Woman has her arc in her movies. The first movie being good, the second movie being fucking horrible. Wonder Woman
awesome,
84 is terrible.
Being awesome, yes.
Flash has no real story arc, in my opinion. Like you said, we didn't really get any idea of what his dad did or didn't do. We don't know why he's even on his dad's side. Because if someone told me that my dad murdered my mom, I'd be like, I kind of would like to know how that all went down. But he seems to be fine with it. We have no reason. We have no idea why. I like that he lives in the weird, sucky Midwest version of Metropolis, apparently, which is that accurate in the comic books? Does he live in like a weird Midwestern
Star City?
I thought it was Central City he lived in.
Oh, Central City.
Central City in this.
Star Labs.
Central City in this.
But it is Central City.
There's a Star City. I think that's Green Arrow, right?
Yeah, that's Arrow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there is. I knew it from somewhere. All right.
I had one note that said 24 actual minutes of that movie was in slow motion. That's actually real. That's fucking insane.
It is real.
That's a note I wrote down. So we already covered that. This one, I'll get to the one that's gonna make Joey.
I got 2 boxes now.
Yeah.
This Desai gets the same update 3 times for some reason. Well, it's different twice. He's like, yo, I got 1 box. Then he comes back, yo, I got 2 boxes. Can I talk to Darkseid this time? Yeah, I guess. Talk to him, whatever. He's like, get the 3rd box.
I think the second time is where we learned that. Was it the first or second time that we learned that Steppenwolf betrayed Darkseid?
So the first one was
I don't think after he got
Darkseid betrayal just means that you failed also. So keep
or
that.
Whatever. He failed Darkseid. Yeah, I'll take that. I think that's better.
But this again, that's why I'm saying if they're pushing these mother boxes, but not explaining that we want the mother boxes to get the anti-life equation. So when I'm like, when Steppenwolf is like, yo, I found the anti-life equation, it's written in the ground, like big deal.
Yeah.
Like they should have had that. So like when people are like, oh fuck, because as soon as Apocalypse heard that, he's like, I'm en route, we're coming, because the anti-life equation, it's not about the mother boxes.
Right.
It's about the anti-life equation.
That vision makes no sense. Why is he Darkseid in that vision? What are we doing there? How the fuck did he even start that vision? I'm sure that I'll see it. Hot dogs flying through the air right now.
Yes.
So like that whole vision made no sense to me.
Well,
I
thought it was a memory, wasn't it? I thought it was like a memory from the. Listen, there's a lot of stuff in here that I just kind of was. I was so like, okay, let's go, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't understand what I saw, but
right.
And this is I'm saying this as comic book guy. The anti-life equation, Darkseid is scary as fuck. Like he's the big scary. But if anyone else got the anti-life equation, they're the scariest guy. So that's something you need to, like, if that's something you wanted to put in this movie, you need to say, like, the mother boxes were stopping so they don't get the anti-life equation because it's a real fucking problem.
Right, right. I see. Yeah. So when you walk into a movie, you say that you can just enjoy it for the comic book. I'm talking to Joey. You can enjoy it for the comic book.
Hey, Sean.
Rob is also there. I am not that way. Like, I am not that way. I watch a movie and compare it to the best movie I've ever seen because they're fucking movies.
You're a sadist. You're a fucking sadist.
Fucking movies.
You're never. How do you enjoy?
1,000% is.
How do you enjoy any fucking movie? You're not a critic, bro.
How are you guys?
He is a critic. Ethan is the critic. Yes.
I think this is like a gradient. So Sean loves everything. I want to like everything, and you go into it like impress me.
Yeah.
Because
peasants entertain me. I am Ethan the Great.
This happened. Like, why are you taking notes? Watch the fucking movie. It's
Jojo
aliens
Rabbit
punching each other.
Jojo Rabbit was a fantastic film. Simple concept. Went right through it. I watched it. It was an hour and a half. It was one of the most enjoyable movies I've ever seen.
Straight face comparing
one of the most
Jojo Rabbit to the fucking Justice League
because they're movies.
Do it.
They're movies.
They're not movies. Listen, that's like saying they're human beings. It's different. It's different.
They're literally movies. They are literally movies.
That's like saying, oh, it's that's just the form. It's the format because you know what? If you show it on your phone, it's not the same thing.
It's like saying
separate.
This is a feature-length film. I'm watching another feature-length film. That's it. It's a pretty fucking simple outline. Like, I just want a feature-length film to also be good.
You guys are anything.
You guys are lowering
anything. If I go into fucking Justice League, the only thing I'm thinking about in a superhero movie is Taika Waititi, and I'm like, I love Korg, and he was great in Jojo Rabbit too when he was Hitler. Like, that's it.
He also made the movies. But you know,
he also wrote and directed it.
He made both of those movies.
Like, I'm not. My point is this: you compare. Like, I don't even put Batman Beyond in the same with regular movies because they're different fucking things.
You don't think that The Dark Knight is one of the greatest films of all time?
Yes, of course.
So then how can you think that movie is one of the greatest films of all time, but then not compare the Justice League to other movies?
Because it's different. Because I wouldn't bring different. I'll explain it to you right now. Okay. My 6-year-old godson loves Batman, loves Spider-Man, loves all of them. I will take him to see Batman shooting homeless people with the Batjet before I take him to see Batman Beyond, because it's a different movie. He's not going to understand Batman Beyond. He's going to understand pow pow, cool, like cool, big. They're different things.
So we're gauging.
I'm not saying I'm going too far.
Yo,
I'm saying
this is a hot take. This is a hot take. I need Ethan to read this because this is going to send him in a worse tangent than we were just on.
Oh.
I love Leto's Joker in the Snyder Cut. Best Joker I've
Get
ever
the fuck
seen.
out of here. Yeah, I'm gonna
Love
compare the Joker. I'm gonna compare the Joker that I saw for 6 total minutes to 5 other Jokers that have done whole films. By the way, the new Joker is awful, but you know, whatever.
I mostly agree
bad.
with Ethan's last comment. I mostly
So we're just comparing. So we could say The Dark Knight is one of the greatest films of all time, but we can't hold this fucking 4-hour epic. We can't hold this 4-hour epic up to a standard of just being a good movie. Like, we're gonna lower the bar because we're also grateful. Wait, hold up. We have given billions of dollars to these companies, and now we should just be grateful that they're giving us these fucking comic movies. That's horseshit. I want this movie to be the best movie I've ever seen all the time. That's my expectation always. So
my point is not
said,
let me be clear. So you said you want every movie you see to be the best movie you've ever seen. I agree. So do I. But I at least critique it. Sean can just watch Pretty Colors and be like, my mind is fucking blown.
Okay, that's not the no. Okay, that's too far. That's too far.
I don't know
that is too far.
they've done, but they can do no wrong.
Yes, taking a shot at Sean in the middle of that.
Come on, man.
I don't go into a movie critiquing shit. If something jumps out at me, I go, I didn't like it, but whatever. But my point is this: I've paid money. I'm sitting here. Can I enjoy just 2 giant idiots punching the shit out of each other? Yeah, because I'm not going to be like, my life has changed. But I'm just like, this is fine because I'm there anyway.
And I can enjoy this movie and also know that it is extremely flawed. Like, I'm not saying I don't enjoy something that sucks or that isn't as good. I still enjoy it. Like,
my brother said the best thing to me. He goes, he knows I love the Lord of the Ring movies. When the Lord of the Ring movies come on, I will pause it and put on the extended cut, watch them from beginning to end, the originals and the new ones, and love them from beginning to end.
It's like a compulsion.
I will never be able to do that with the Snyder Cut. Maybe if I was watching it with someone for the first time, but I'm going to fast forward through some shit in this fucking movie because, oh my God. Plus, I already know what's coming. But the Lord of the Ring movies are on. Don't even talk to me. Like, and those movies are fucking long.
And it's all just walking.
Yeah,
it's walking.
It's the greatest walking ever. The greatest walking ever.
It is.
For hours.
It's 3. There's it's just walking in those 3 flicks. The Snyder Cut is the most Snyder movie that's ever been Snydered in the history of Snydering. There's fucking 4 music videos to introduce every character. They got Danny Boy playing in the middle of fucking Flash running through touching hot dogs. Like, this movie is, and of course, it ends on a fucking hellscape in the dark. It was like Watchmen and 300 had sex with each other, and then Batman versus Superman brought this movie home. It's like, it's just a total fucking train wreck of Snyderness. Like, I'm fine with it. I accept it. I'm watching this man jump in slow motion. Why is he jumping in slow motion?
I think
it's like he can't even get out of his own way.
It's a guy off the leash. I've done it. Everyone, I've done it. Where you need somebody.
Isn't there a trumpet? Isn't there a trumpet on one of the Banner records?
No, there's there's a cello. The Banner did the weirdest shit that nobody even knows about. But that wasn't me.
I respect that. I respect the off the leash art. I respect that shit.
Let me tell you about the original versions of I Wish I Was Dead and I'll Be Happy When You're Dead. If you want to know that I needed somebody walk in and go, handsome, I like where your energy is, but you gotta just bring it. Poor Carl calling in like, what's he doing? What's he doing? Please God, you can't let him. But
get that out of there.
You know what it is? It's the problem. It's why you need producers. And I always say, producers ruin it. It's what you need. Zack Snyder has a lot of great fucking ideas. He does a lot of really cool fucking shit, but you need someone.
I agree.
And you know what? And I want to point this out because a lot of people miss this, and I don't get it. When Superman does the thing and he kills Zod, right? Mm-hmm. Superman doesn't kill. That's his first year. He didn't want to kill. He knew he shouldn't kill. He did it because he had no choice, okay? And you knew, because that guy is incredible, Superman, that he was going to remember that shit forever. You got that energy. You got like, he did not want to kill this fucking dude, even though he hated him. He didn't want to fucking kill him. The second movie, they take the guy that he killed, turn him into fucking Doomsday, Doomsday kills him. Everybody just missed that. That's Superman's greatest sin. It wasn't Lex Luthor. It wasn't Brainiac. It was this thing that Superman regrets the fucking most. Came back and was used against him by a villain to fucking kill him. So when all this shit is starting again and they're like, should we bring him back from the dead? I'm like, this is a much bigger conversation than should we bring him back from the dead? He's Superman. We need him. Yes, we agree. But we have the daughter of a fucking god who's like, I don't know. Like, I think you have a better opinion than that. You know what I mean? Aquaman's probably like, no, we can't.
He was the only guy. Yeah, he's like,
this is a bad idea.
Let's jump in with the Superman resurrection stuff. Here's a hot take. So the so the conversations that they had in the Whedon cut, I think I actually like that because they're talking about the moral implications of bringing back somebody from the dead. You know, even though they need him. So I think
honestly, the movie. They should have had that conversation on film, not in a fucking table. That's a big deal, huh?
I think the build up to them talking about bringing him back to life was done better in Zack's version. But I like the conversations maybe a little bit more about the implications of like what bringing him back like would mean, you know, like. So I think it was executed better in Snyder, but I think actually the conversations in Whedon where I thought were a little bit better, you know, talking about, you know, what if he's at, remember there's a scene in the Whedon cut where Bruce and Alfred are talking and he's like, you know, what if homie's at peace, you know, dead. They cut that out of the Snyder cut. And I kind of like that scene the most more in actually the Whedon cut. And I was like, I kind of wish they'd had that talk more in the Snyder cut.
Like this whole movie is comic book porn, right? Like we're all happy to be seeing.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh my god, like fucking like Green Lantern and all this other wild shit, right? But what we forget is that Zack Snyder loses it a little in every movie he's in that he makes. He loses a little in the dialogue and in the nuance. Like he's not quite the master of those aspects. So some of the dialogue in this movie is clunky as fuck, and some of the nuance is lost. Because he's just trying to get us to the next hellscape that we can all fight over.
He's very he's a visual guy. It's all visual, you know.
Yeah. I disagree. Like it's visual. He does good shit with visual. Like when Clark's father gets wrapped up in the tornado, I think that was a great fucking scene showing like I'm terrified for you, my son, the strongest man on earth.
Christopher Nolan wrote it. Christopher Nolan wrote that though.
And it was fantastic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
But my point is like every time I'm going like Lois Lane was just fine with these guys bringing her dead boyfriend and husband back. Like maybe like I'm so happy to see you, but what? Like she was just like Clark, it's fine. The speechless idiot Clark, fly away with me. The mom was just like, it's chill. Like, I'm sure you're stoked.
I'm not like, traumatized by seeing your dead body and now seeing it reanimated I don't want my and walking around.
And anyone who's lost a child or something, like I would do anything to bring them back. But if they came back, there will be pause. I'm just saying, like,
probably be a little freaked out.
If we cut that goddamn Icelandic choir down to like 10 seconds, we could have expanded on this shit.
Yeah, exactly. The Leonard Cohen video that Leonard Cohen himself would have never asked for. You could have fucking cut Leonard that Cohen out.
In the bar, like drinking in the background, just like you know, just like
the death of a ladies' man.
You know, like,
exactly.
They also got to
record a record with Phil Spector.
His return too at some point. Also, like he died also in BVS. He were in the newspaper. They showed that he died. So they also have to. How are they going to explain him just being back now too? You know, unless someone in that world's got.
The way they always do it. It's Superman. It's Superman. If anyone can come back from the dead, we're just happy he's here because no one's throwing buildings at school children anymore. So like whatever the fuck, he's back. He's back. It's fine.
Why was he so mad?
I think
it was that. It's
brought him back,
and it's a kind of a callback to Man of Steel because when Zod first comes to Earth and it's like him waking up from Earth, they show the flash of him because I just watched Man of Steel right before, like the day before I watched the Snyder Cut. So he like takes off his helmet thing and he gets super disoriented and it makes him all fucked up. So I think like when he woke up, they show the same kind of visuals of him being disoriented. It's still kind of a stretch to be like, oh, he's disoriented and he wants to kill everyone.
Right.
But I mean, he did also get resurrected too. So I don't know.
Sean, do you remember Rise of the Supermen after they killed Superman?
Oh yeah.
When it was kind of explained that all the Kryptonian technology in the world knew that Superman was the last Kryptonian, and when they died, that's what Eradicator was. That's what they were like. We need to bring him back to fucking life, and they found the coffin empty. So in this movie, they dropped the father box into the Kryptonian shit. If they just took a little while to say, we're using the father box to juice up the Kryptonian shit that wants him to not be dead, even more so because he's got that coding in his, the DNA of Kryptonian history in him, even more to want to bring him back. And then having the Kryptonian technology and the father box technology kind of compete back and forth, that would explain all of that.
Yeah, because they do the opposite.
People.
They did the opposite, because the whole thing when Cyborg's like hooking it up, they're like, don't mix this technology with Kryptonian technology. They're like, don't fucking do it. And then he has the nightmare flash forward thing,
which I thought was cool
in the movie. Oh, it was awesome. It was sick. Seeing fucking Wonder Woman dead, Darkseid, the Omega beams underwater with the spears through Aquaman. I was like, yo.
Every time Deathstroke teams up with Batman, I get a fucking hard on.
Dude, I want to talk about something.
I love watching them fight, but when they team up, some shit has gone horribly off the rails. They're like, all right, look, we're going to do the timeout. We'll handle this.
So mad we're not going to see that Batman movie.
Oh, come on.
With him versus Deathstroke.
I
want it so bad.
He's going to show his ass. I think Ben Affleck was like, oh, you didn't like Ben Affleck? I'm going to fuck, because Ben Affleck can write some shit. Like, he's made some
for sure.
Shit. I think he had a fucking bug up his ass, and he was like, okay, we're going to fucking see. Like, I think that movie was going to be fucking killer.
Me
and
too.
visually, I think Ben Affleck was one of my favorite Batman, but him in the Frank Miller, just for no reason, stocky
Dark Knight Returns,
suit, I was like, ooh, I fucking love it.
Yeah, I did too. I think that was cool. That's a Batman where, like, they said, like, he's not all like, stoked on like a techie bat suit. It's just, that suit is there just to show his brute strength as Batman, because Batman can fuck people up really bad. And he did in that warehouse scene really bad. So I was like, I want to see this Batman fight Deathstroke.
You want to do something funny as fuck? Watch that Batman and then look at the scene when Ben Affleck is talking to Martian Manhunter and he's a svelte 125 pounds. And they're just like, how much fake muscle was it? Because this is the skinniest. Ben Affleck is so skinny as heck.
That was reshot.
That was a new scene they shot. Yeah. Like,
but I'm saying it's
they shot like 6 months ago. Yeah.
Got a lot of Kevlar or bat foam or whatever the fuck.
He packs that thing. He packs it. I'm gonna drop a hot take that was in my notes. Cyborg's fucking garbage in this movie. I hated every moment of this dude being on screen.
Dude, he's the reason this movie is like good.
He's the reason the movie goes forward. He's not good.
His origin shit was one of the things that could have been cut. Like, I like the fact I'm going to give this waitress a lot of money. Everyone's like, that's so dumb. It wasn't dumb. It was, why is it so long? Like,
why is it so long? What are you doing? Just expand. Also, where's that money coming from? What are we doing? This is how money works now.
Bro.
You're tightening it up like it's fucking Instagram. We're just you're just expanding it with your two fingers.
In the comics,
he's a robot.
He goes, there's no money online. It's ones and zeros, and the ATM gives you what's in it. Like, he explains that, which would have been fantastic to be explained in that fucking movie. But like, it could have been like like how they could have shot it was they show the thing with the chick that he's watching. The next scene, she's at the ATM, and then you just show Cyborg kind of put his hand on the ATM. Yeah, real quick, real tight, snug. Let's get on to other shit. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it was just a good showcase of like what his abilities were, what he could do, which they didn't do in the other version. That's what I'm saying. So his father explained that you have access to literally everything.
I think the screens was more important than the length of the like him seeing everything and everything was more. That was more important to be like. It was like in Batman Beyond or the second Batman Beyond when all the cameras show all the screens.
Yeah,
like it should have been that kind of impact where it's like this guy is plugged into every goddamn thing. But it was wonky and
I liked how deeply they got into his powers. I liked everything about his story. I'm not saying I have a problem with his story. I'm saying that the kid who acted him was fucking terrible. And when he got when he got somehow manifested into a mother box, which is not how electronics work at all. That's not
He's
how
already a mother box, though. That's
no universe doesn't fucking work like that. You don't just touch someone while you're going really fast and they fly into a fucking.
Ethan is going to explain. Ethan is going to explain uninvented alien technology. He's an expert on it.
Ancient artificial intelligence merged with also the exact same artificial intelligence. That's your problem, not a fucking rope that tells the truth. Like an invisible. Like,
no, because listen, if I can, okay. I suspend disbelief for these movies. I am content with suspending disbelief.
I don't think you
movies. Do I ever have a problem with Wonder Woman jumping over a building? No, I don't fucking care. I'm like, all right, I'm watching a Wonder movie. But when I get into the parameters, you give me the parameters, and I will tell you if something doesn't make fucking sense.
The mother boxes,
all of your.
They've always been like a viral thing.
That's always been garbage.
The mother box, father box, apocalypse technology has always been. It's a fucking viral thing. You just put the thing on your computer and it fucking makes it. It's always been that. That is the least of my fucking concerns.
We don't have a problem with them just manifesting story like plot lines in the moment.
No. He's like, you know what? Here's the real problem here.
He's like, no.
Ethan went to college.
Fast. He's like, run really fast and then touch me and then I'll fly into this box. I have no idea if that'll work, but let's just do it.
Okay,
the fate of humankind is fucking just hinged on this. But if you touch me, I won't just fly over the box. I'll jump into it. And then I'll have a conversation with some women who they argued that it's an ancient technology that has no feeling. That is what they say in the movie. But then you get in there and
obviously got a lot of feeling.
Obviously has a lot of feeling.
But for the record, he didn't go into the mother box. He merged with the mother box, and it was showing him those things.
Where was
they even said in the movie?
Was his human face stuck to the box? Do you think, or was he inside it with the human face? We're just carbon-based life forms. Just
they said in the movie.
What they talk about it. You're watching it right now.
I'm watching it. Rob, it's 5 hours from now when that happens. What are you talking about? I've been watching it for an hour. I got 6 more hours before I get there.
They do talk about how it's going to try and trick you. That is a line in the movie saying the mother boxes are going to try and trick you.
They just said that they're an ancient artificial intelligence that has no feeling. That is just is.
To be fair, Joey said that. And I know you guys both went to college for ancient artificial AI. And you guys are having a thesis argument on it against each other.
You don't know, Sean, you don't know what I went to college for, to be fair. You have no idea what I went to college for. So
I've watched a cube brush digital art tutorial on YouTube by a guy with a degree. That's as close as I've gotten to college. Thank you. Good day.
I bet you would do.
Oh, good day.
But yeah, I would argue.
So Rob,
really good performance by Ray Fisher. That was just because he was just there in the other cut. Like no one cared about him in the other cut. This one
he was bad in the other cut.
Yeah, and you're gonna say that this is not better than that.
I'm not saying it's not better than that, but I'm not comparing this movie. I'm not comparing this movie to a fucking. I'm not comparing this movie to the suck-ass version of the one that came before. That makes no sense.
How can you not? This is the whole reason why we're watching it, because this is this is marketed as the better version. It's hard not to compare.
I did, and I am, but my gauge of whether this is good or not isn't based on how bad the other one was. That's not how life works. I'm not basing that off of this movie is a standalone movie, and it is also compared to the former version. Doesn't really matter. The epilogue fucking sucked. How about that? The epilogue was fucking garbage.
You can't not compare them in this of all the rarest circumstances. You can't. It's impossible to not compare them.
I do compare them. I'm telling you that
I'm agreeing with you. I'm not fighting with you. I'm backing. Relax. I'm supporting what you're saying. I know what we're doing. I agree with you. It's impossible to not compare them just by nature of the situation. You know what? Do you know this happened before? You know they did The Abyss. There was a movie called The Abyss that came out, and everyone's like, "This is a great movie," but it makes but listen. this is a great movie, but I don't understand it at all, but I still like it because it was a cool movie. They did a director's cut that came out years later. The movie's fucking incredible, but they just cut out like 30 minutes of like James Cameron shit that was like, okay. But no one cared back then. But because of this shit, like, it's bonkers. Like, this is bonkers that we're even talking about this. That they just
I got to talk about this comment. The epilogue was better than Nolan's Batman trilogy. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but that opinion is actually fucking crazy.
Blocked.
Because
he's just saying it. Yeah, block him. He's just saying it to get up on the screen. You fucking fed right into it. You notice how I didn't even look at that fucking thing? No. I disagree. I
say you're right. That is an extremely take. I'm not sure about that. I am 100% sure that epilogue was not better than even Dark Knight Rises, even any scene in that movie. And I like that movie. I know it's predominantly divisive, I guess, as far as you go, is the Dark Knight trilogy. It's probably the least liked, but
one of them has to be.
I mean, I like the epilogue, but
it's the least good, but still fucking great. This movie has a lot of fucking problems, but it's still better. It's still better than a ton of DC. Like, it's a good movie. Like, I'm gonna watch it. I'll watch it again for sure. I'll fast forward a little bit, but I'll watch it again and enjoy it. And like, I like this. This is fucking cool. You know what I mean? Whereas actually, the worst. I'm just saying the worst Nolan Batman movie is better than probably 99% of comic book movies.
Period. It's better than this. It's better than this movie.
Can we relax?
It is.
I'd have to rewatch the third one.
That's not even a hot take. That movie.
Not really. No.
Yeah, I guess. No, you're right. I would. Yeah, I gotta watch.
That's kind of fair, actually.
It's where I have to watch them all. Like, I can't just do one.
It's amazingly written. Just because Tom Hardy is a kooky man with his kooky voice doesn't mean that the movie isn't good.
That Bane was fantastic. Not only that,
dude, he's terrifying.
It was nothing like the Banes that we knew.
Yeah.
But he was so good at whatever the fuck that Bane was that all the Banes now that they do are doing his shit. Like listen, I can't say this enough. Watch Young Justice. It's on HBO Max. They just did a new season.
I need to watch it.
Fucking incredible.
Check it out.
All the DC animated shit, if they just like
good.
It's a Dave Filoni situation. They need to walk down the hall, go into that office, and be like, who's writing this? Like,
help us.
Yeah. Can you talk to these guys with because it's like those animated, almost all those animated shows are fantastic.
We just made a super weird Wonder Woman movie where we hijacked a man's body and was totally fine with it for the entire film.
At no point did anyone go,
here we go.
Did we rape a guy? And I love it. I love at the end where they kind of imply like, well, she would have fucked him if it wasn't the other guy. So it's not the thing.
Yeah, because he's got a boa on. Homeboy's got a boa on, and now
she
it's all
smiled
good.
At him
They hijacked his life. Also, if he had gotten his fucking brains blown out while they were doing all that illicit shit, that guy would have just been dead.
You killed
just hijacked this.
I mean, yeah.
Chris Pine's gone. This dude's gone. Diet Chris Pine is dead. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
I didn't hate that movie as much as I did. The thing was, they if you have a wish, you.
Why are we talking about this movie right now?
My point is this: if you have a wish machine, are you going to bring back the love of your life? Like, that's just the story that everybody fucking does. But then they were kind of like, Warner Brothers. Ah!
This is fair.
Yeah, that movie went way off the fucking rails, kind of like this podcast.
Yes, this is insanely off the rails. So, Rob, just talk about anything about this movie at this point.
Let's talk about
Rob.
Superman in this movie, who I really liked. So my issue here, if here's like a big nitpick. So a lot of him coming back in this movie was him wearing the black suit, which they did not explain at all when he put it on. Went to the Kryptonian closet and just put it on. And like, I was kind of like, I think they're going to actually explain why he has it. But no, he just saw it and put it on, and that was it.
Rob, I'm sorry. It goes back to the thing I said before. It's Kryptonian technology to heal. Like, they already had
No, but they didn't They didn't explain
it at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, when we resurrect our dead people, we put them in this black suit because they kind of died, so it's a little morny, but it's cool. Like, this is what we do. The floaty robots. Okay, like that. All right.
Yeah, the floaty robots that are literally just like.
I thought he was
just
have
explanation machines.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna talk to them, and one of the robots would kind of explain, to help you boost up your abilities. Put this on,
dude,
and
well,
it was a missed opportunity.
That entire scene too, I thought was the only section of that scene that was hastily put together because it's at the end of the movie. Like he's walking through the mall, saying all the suits. He's got the monologues. I didn't like that. I didn't like the voices in the back because I was just like, this is kind of just really hastily thrown in there. What I thought.
Joey cried. Joey cried during that part.
What I thought was a really powerful.
No, I'm talking about when he first comes back, when his brain's working and he's walking through the thing and he hears both the dads talking. I was like, this is a cool fucking scene. Like, I thought it was cool. I dug it. My thing is, Marvel is great at taking shit they already wrote, chopping it up and say, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And they did that a little bit, but the whole premise of the first Superman movie was inside of Superman is the thing that can bring back all of Krypton. That is why the spaceship and the floaty assholes that try to kill you if they don't know you want him to come back.
No one is excited to do that, Chad.
It's in Rise of the Supermen. It's in everything. It's why there's a black suit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a blown opportunity that was right out front. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
it's really just tacked on fan service just to see him in the black suit. No, I'm kind of curious if they actually tried to do all that.
Rob, 1,000%, Rob. I never even thought about it. It's tacked on fan service that they thought was just like, oh, black suit, but like they could have been.
So, I actually remember I was watching an interview with Snyder. Someone actually asked Zack Snyder. I watched an interview with him, and someone asked him about that black suit, and then someone asked him, "Did you actually think about bringing him back with long hair and a beard?" And he said, "We said we 100% did, but we had major pushback from WB to not even do the black suit at all." So.
How would they have gotten? Imagine it would have been like some dopey ass scene where the robots fly up and shave them and shit. That's exactly what they would have fucking done. And I would have been like, give me the blonde girls singing again. Let's go back.
Bring that back. We'll cut this whole thing.
Barbershop robot.
I know.
Now it's unfortunately it just looks like just fan service because it's him in the black suit after he came back to life. So that's kind of why I'm like, well, that's like.
I mean, to be fair. It worked because I thought it was fucking sick.
No, it worked fine. I
was like, yeah, all right.
Suit looks dope. I think
it was badass.
I think that Man of Steel, the design is awesome. I think it's a cool modern take of the suit.
Absolutely, I love it. I love it. I love the texture. I love the little
embroidered, it looks.
I agree. I think it's what a real life Superman should look like. Is I think if I had pictured it, I'm like, oh yeah, I buy it. I dig it. I like it.
And
I miss the red. I hate to say it. I miss the red underwear, and I don't want to miss the red underwear. I don't want to because it's red underwear over long johns.
Why do you have an opinion about it at all? Right, exactly.
But when they show them full scene, I'm like, oh, it's weird. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe they could have put a stripe. I don't know what they could have done, but I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's just I don't know why. I don't know why I even said
I saw people complain about him having the cape with the black suit. The cape didn't bother me with the black suit.
No,
that was cool. That was great. And then
you know what else they could have done at the end when evil Superman comes back? He's got the black suit on. You'd be like, yeah, because it heals him. And the Kryptonian robot don't care that he's bad now. They just care that the Kryptonian is still alive. He's an evil Superman that the technology is keeping alive is fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they just skipped all that and gave us a black suit.
I'm a better writer than everyone else. I'm so good at
He's a better writer. He's a better writer of this film. Yeah, exactly.
A movie that someone else made already.
This is a really cool point. Honestly, I'd totally welcome an animated series continue of the Snyderverse. I think it'd be really, really sick. Dude, their animated movies are nuts. So if they did the sequels they've talked about. Well, dude, have you watched Justice League Dark, the movie?
Oh, both of them. There's two of them. I didn't even know.
They
were both sick.
The second one has Darkseid in it. And it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's so nuts.
To the chat, I don't know who's in there. Watch Young Justice. There was a lot of what's done in these movies done cooler and differently, but kind of cool in that fucking show. It's a great, like, all this stuff is great. Young Justice is the best. Like, it's fucking killer. And they show so much of this shit that I watched Young Justice after this, and it made me be like, well, why'd they do that for then? Because this guy just did it cool. You know? This guy just drew Phil Barassa.
You, Joey, when we see him kind of back in full action, what did we all think about
Henry Cavill? Oh, will we? Or
no? I wanted to say when he comes back after he like stops the axe with his shoulder, which
I
is
got a hard on. I thought it was the fucking, and I thought it was a shot at Avengers when they hit Thanos with the axe and like aim for the head. I felt like that was kind of, it was a really similar thing. I think it was kind of like, fuck Thor.
I think
that scene blew my fucking mind. I called my brother. If you watch this shit, you're gonna fucking love it. And I'm not a Superman guy.
Yeah, because I'm like you. I think of all, I like Man of Steel as probably like my favorite of all the DC films. You know, after the Nolan trilogy, I think Man of Steel is my top of all of these.
That's what I'm saying. You got to separate them, and I agree. Man of Steel is.
And I think Man of Steel. But I think Man of Steel before the MCU really hit. I think Man of Steel has probably, in my opinion, the best like superhero action sequence. Like that Smallville battle, even though they blow the fuck up out of Smallville. When I watched that in theaters when it came out, I was like, my mind was blown. I was like, this is like the Superman like fight style of fighting I want to see. I want to see them flying through buildings, like showing off their strength. Like, dude, that Feora, like that's a fucking scary Kryptonian. That if she,
I wish they kept the original names. That's my only thing. I wish they would have called her like Ursa and Zod. Like, it was such a little thing. But if you go back and watch those movies, like the Superman movies were goofy. When the Kryptonians come back, they were scary in that fucking movie. But you know what's so funny about that scene you're talking about specifically, Smallville and the military Kryptonians coming? Mm-hmm. I told everyone from the beginning that the Image comic book Invincible is a reboot of Superman. It's a reboot of Superman. It's everything's almost exactly the same, tweaked, changed a little bit. It's Superman. Instead of Zod, it's his dad, which is perfect. It's a good little twist, blah, 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 blah. In that, the race that they are, the Viltrumites, they went back. The Kryptonians post Invincible have been more and more Viltrumites since Invincible came out than before. Like Zod was just like a one-off dickhead. They weren't like a military like crew at all. Now it's like, I'm bringing my military with me because you sent us to the Phantom Zone. It's very reminiscent, and the comic books too, same thing, of how Kirkman handled the Viltrumites in that comic. Like, it's changed DC. They went back to like, oh, that's a good idea. We can just do that because basically, technically, we invented it. So fuck you.
Yeah,
you know?
It's so funny because I watched the first 3 episodes of the animated version of it now.
Perfect.
And because I haven't read it. I haven't read any of it yet. I'm thinking I'm going to read it after probably the first season or something. That's usually what I'll do. If I haven't read something before, I'll read it after. But
Sean, you're killing me. I wish I knew you didn't read it.
I kind of see where it's going. I see where it's going.
The cartoon is great, but when those comics came out, okay, and nobody likes Kirkman or whatever, everyone's got weird beef with him. I don't know what the deal is.
Kirkman's awesome.
But as I'm saying, like in comics, like as readers, he's a fucking lock. Those comics changed superhero comics for the fucking better, because it was like, if Superman punches this guy, his fucking intestines are going to come out. Like, and that's true. And like, Invincible gets his ass beat and his face is crooked and shit by his own, like, I'm not going to ruin shit. I'm glad you can read them now, but if you could have read them when I wish I could have. They were so fucking good. And I like The Walking Dead, and I like the comics, and I like Kirkman. I think Kirkman writes cool shit. If you like superhero comics and you're no longer a little kid, Invincible is so fucking good, and people sleep on it. And the cartoon really, I love animation more than anything. If I ever am able to write and do stuff, I will choose to do animation. Animation is my thing. Those 3 episodes have been fucking incredible. They've been different enough from the comics that I can still get intrigued. They go, oh, I see what you did. Oh, I like that. The animation is not fucking anime, thank God, because I'm sick of this anime. Everything has to be anime bullshit. It's great animation. I'm talking about something else. Watch it. It's fantastic. Sean, please read Invincible.
I will. I plan on it.
They change it enough that it's rewarded. It's so underrated.
That's what I love about comic book stuff, because if something comes out, because pretty much like the first season of The Boys came out, I read all of The Boys in the comics, and they're so much different. Stuff like that. Like usually I'll like watch it and then read it. But now it's come to the point where I'm reading stuff before I watch it too. But they're always, especially comic book stuff, they never do everything exactly the same. They just take the backbone and they change it. Like even Kirkman was talking about it, and he's like, scripts for comic books are basically stupid. It's usually the artist that does all the work with everything. So he's like, me writing a script for an animated show, I'm like, oh, I can make this way better than it was in the comics, because this is, for one, 12 years later, and for two, I can do whatever the fuck I want with it. You know, so it's cool to see that shit.
It's an excellent point. And honestly, I just read a whole thing, like similarly, that comic book pencilers are getting worse because comic book colorists are getting so fucking good that they don't have to. Like inkers, there's pencilers, someone inks it, adds black shadow, and then they color it. Inkers are, in many times, not even going to be hired because the colorists are so fucking good. I'm so glad you brought up The Boys, because Invincible, you're going to see it. It gets compared to The Boys. It gets compared to Watchmen. It gets compared to these things where it's like, this is a superhero comic, but gritty and raw. Invincible is gritty and raw, but it's not that. It's
I definitely have a different feel for sure.
It's how Superman should fucking be. It's not like dark and gritty, but it gets a raw. People love it, and I'm saying it's underrated. It gets a raw deal. Don't think you're getting The Boys. Don't think you're getting Watchmen. Don't think you're getting.
Oh, it's way different.
Yeah, because it's if you love just plain old, you love Disney Plus, and you're an adult, you'll love this shit. Like it's like, you know, if the Hulk really punched that guy, he'd turn into mist. That's what happens. But it's not also like there's pedophiles. Like, you know what I mean? Like, ooh,
yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no like heavy-handed.
Ethan, do you know this person?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out. Yo, Ethan.
Joey's going, dude.
Sorry.
Keep going,
I'm done.
No, you're doing great.
Okay, so since we've basically not talked about this movie for 10 minutes now,
what movie? Wait, what movie?
Zack Snyder's Justice League. Duh.
I
want to talk about the epilogue a little bit. I'm going to talk, Rob's going to talk, and then you two can argue, I guess, for 20 minutes after.
Yes.
So, obviously, the epilogue is kind of like an after credit.
Pause.
Okay.
Joey, you actually just sold me on that comic book. I'm actually going to read that comic book. Sean, go ahead.
Awesome.
Please do.
I'm
definitely going to read it too as well. I love Robert Kirkman. So, but it's kind of like a mishmash of after credit scenes in a way, but the main part of it, other than him to flex the after credit scenes of the original Justice League being like, oh yeah, I made that better too, is the whole nightmare sequence that was what he reshot for the movie with, you know, the Batman and Joker interaction. At first, when I watched this scene, I was kind of distracted by Jared Leto's laugh and his talk a little bit, and the reach around comment, that was a little much for me. But
yeah,
if you actually break down the dialogue besides the reach around, it's actually really cool because he references, you know, Robin dying, and then Batman brings up, "I promised I would kill you" on Harley Quinn's deathbed and shit like that. That part I thought was really cool. And apparently when he wakes up and then talks to Martian Manhunter, it was supposed to be Green Lantern, but the studio was like, no, you know, we're doing an HBO Max Green Lantern show, so maybe just put Martian Manhunter in there again. Cool.
Yeah, but what they did was, and I saw the best meme was Martian Manhunter, and they're just like, so like you were here the whole time and you just didn't show up until we won. Like,
well, the thing is, he showed up in the middle of the movie too, so it's like it wouldn't even matter if
to make Lois Lane get over fucking Superman for no reason. What the fuck does he get?
Yeah, that was nonsensical.
So
like, why would Martian Manhunter do any of that? Like, it makes no sense. How does he know what Superman's mom looks like?
It ruins the impact of the scene between Lois and Martha. You know, like that's kind of like a. And then when they reveal Martian Manhunter, and I was like, well, that kind of just takes the whole weight away of that scene.
Of a really good scene.
Yeah.
Fan service.
And
100% fan service.
Yeah, it was weird. And then to talk about the entire epilogue. So I liked the epilogue of like the closing of the characters. I thought it would, if the movie ended with Superman opening up his like suit to show the S. end right there. Sweet. But then they tacked on Lex escaping from prison and then meeting Deathstroke on the boat again, and then having the nightmare sequence, and then the final part. I didn't need Lex escaping from prison or the Deathstroke thing. I honestly don't think it really needed that, you know?
That was for the Batman movie.
It was, yeah. But
the only reason that was in there was because originally when they did it, they're like, okay, Ben's going to do this Batman movie, but we also need to do, such things. So Zach's like, I'm going to write the shit out of it. We'll write, again, off the leash. I'm going to write the shit out of it. But if they would have taken that out and just did the apocalypse scene, I would have been.
Yes.
But on their own, they're cool. They're both cool on their own.
They are. So I think the apocalypse scene, to me, I feel like would have been more effective if they put it in earlier in the movies as opposed to just throwing on at the end there. They're stacking all these scenes. I feel like it would have kind of, I don't know. I feel like when I watch the Nightmare scene, I'm kind of back and forth on it. Like, I feel like I like it. I would have liked it better if it was somewhere not in the epilogue. I don't know.
I've read certain places, and I don't know how reliable it is because it's people saying I read elsewhere. So the thing with as it's been explained, I don't know how accurate it is. It kind of makes sense. The dream thing was supposed to be paid off by like something else. Like I've been telling you, and I think it would had something to do with the father mother box in the New Gods. But like we've been telling you what the future is because you're the hero of Earth who's an Earthling. We've been trying, like, I don't know, like you're too fucking thick-headed to like get it, but that was the reason for these dreams. But it wasn't even like, I guess without the universe and the other stuff happening, you kind of,
it gets really muddy.
Exactly. It gets really muddy.
all of Batman's insight into that whole situation is so confusing. It's like,
it's why
like the Flash shows up and then Lois Lane burns to death and all this stuff.
So, you know what? It's totally right. And you know what makes it more so? That it's Batman. Do you know what I mean? Like, why is like if they said Martian Manhunter's getting these visions, and that's why he's been trickling information to these guys, and that's what kind of got this going, or Wonder Woman, or one of the magical ones, or the Flash has been going from the future. He's like, I saw this shit and it sucked. Like,
yeah, right. I figured it out.
Batman is not a visions guy. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah. That was always confusing at BVS. Like, why did he have this dream in the first place?
Right.
I don't know. Why is he having a vision of like this? And like,
actually, you know what? I think it might have been the Flash. I think that people said like it's supposed to go to the Flash movie because the Flash comes back to Batman. Well, I think that's what they were.
It was originally supposed to be paid off of Justice League 2. The whole thing of Justice League 2 was the nightmare sequence becoming real life. And then Justice League 3 was like them undoing it. Like Justice League 2 is going to end in Infinity War. But that would kind of make the third movie very pointless. Because it's like, hey, remember all that fucked up shit that happened? We're just going to undo it and everything will be cool.
They could have never done it post Endgame.
But you like Endgame.
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
But they don't just undo it because people fucking die still. And they create fucking alternate timelines and fuck with time. It's so much different than them just being like, we're good.
Here's where I wish,
I
wish everything would have went
and do it. Like you couldn't after Endgame because it's not going to impact. It's not going to land. They would have done it. They could have done it, but it would have been a fart. It would have been. Nerd.
It will make all of mankind do the exact same thing that every single nerd did after Infinity War, which is, well, they're just going to reverse that. None of us cared. Like I didn't walk out of Infinity War being like, oh my God, Spider-Man's gone. It's like, no, I fucking knew they were going to be back in one movie. I was like, all those motherfuckers are coming back. That'll be fine. That's fun. I'll have fun watching it, which I didn't. But
here's where I wish
I did.
The universe for this. I really wish the storyline that they would have gone to at the end would have been the Kingdom Come line. That's one of my favorite.
They couldn't do it because they just brought Flash in. So the only way, because all this crisis shit, you need a Flash to die. That's what you need. Like it's a hack bit. It's done 1,000 times, but the only thing I could think of is in the Flash movie, they bring back an adult Flash or Barry or one of those guys, and then he gets murked in the crisis because you got to kill it. You just have to. You got to kill a Flash because that's what does all these things. But who knows?
He's got to run on a magic treadmill too. There's got to be a magic treadmill.
That's true. That whole sequence, to me, was an example that if they had let Snyder do his thing, which obviously he needs a producer in the room to help him get through the muddy parts here, 5-hour movies. That storyline is so cool. Like, it is so sick. The Apocalypse storyline, all of that shit, them being like enemies, that isn't the same as Endgame. Like, that's not the same as Infinity War. No. So that's unique. And if it was all rated R, which is what I was saying before, it would have been different and interesting in its own special ways. They had such an opportunity to do it, and WB fucking blew it, because of course they did, because they're going to err on the side of being as safe as they can, which was a mistake because they just fucking destroyed the DC universe. Everyone's trying to say Shazam was good. Shazam sucks.
Awesome. It was an awesome DC universe.
Shazam is awesome.
Ruined too. Like, they have really good characters. Like think about Aquaman. They brought in a dude who looks nothing like Aquaman, and comic fans were like, "We hate it," and then they watch it and go, "We don't hate it that much." Actually, we really actually like this, which never fucking happens. Never happens.
True.
Ben Affleck, again, great Batman. Henry Cavill might surpass Christopher Reeves as Superman.
He's a great Superman.
I don't give a fuck about Superman, and he made me like Superman.
Sam, I do not like Superman.
I did not think that Superman we got was going to be this. I thought we're going to all right, we're going to get like a modern take on Superman. Henry Cavill came in and was the most Superman has ever fucking been. And I'm like, this fucking rules. Like, I fucking loved it.
Yeah. He has like a certain essence of being like reassuringly kind of smug that I fuck with pretty heavy. He's like kind of smug about how like good he is, and I was like, all right, I fuck with that.
That's why
I like how he gets more smug when he gets more smug. Like, he looks at the Flash, like Flashes run up on him. He's like, come on,
come on, bro.
That scene is so dope, and that's in both versions.
Come on, bro. Oh my god, I love it. I was the first superhero they made up. I've got everything. They were just excited they made me up. You know
the best part of that was Flash looking him in the eyes and shitting his
pants.
As he's swinging his arms like an asshole while he's running.
Oh, he runs so bad.
It's so bad. It's so
I'm going, dude. I'm so fast.
Yeah, exactly. That's the DC equivalent of someone should have told Tom Hardy not to make a kooky voice underneath the Bane mask. But I liked the Apocalypse scene. I love that arc. Like, I think that's so sick. I think that they should have obviously, hindsight 2020, like I said, no person in their right mind would have let Zack Snyder release this fucking thing in its original form. There's no fucking way. But now we're here. I personally believe that they're going to continue this. They're going to give Zack Snyder the most ridiculous amount of money to continue this arc. They're going to continue it.
They're going. That's back.
Affleck's coming back for the Flash.
Affleck's pretty fucking malleable.
He's coming back for the Flash.
I don't know, but
the way I understood it was he was like, "You guys are fucking me," and then they just went and made another Nolan-esque Batman with Robert fucking Pattinson.
I mean, they did, but
listen, I hope
Ben Affleck is not connected.
Ben Affleck is for sale.
He is coming back.
I don't think that he's the most moralistic dude in the history of the world. I think that he's
going to
be in there.
Redoing it. They said they're not going. I mean,
I know, but they also said the Snyder Cut would never happen.
Yeah, they also said Zack Snyder didn't get paid, and you said bullshit a bunch of times. So I think that this is also an example
Zack Snyder
of
is
bullshit.
different. They're like, do you want to take a bunch of money for revenge as an artist?
Do you want to take 10 times? Do you want to take 10 times more money because you are the only thing that is making Warner Brothers DC Universe relevant at all? It was fucking dead, and now it is alive, and we are talking about it for 1 hour and 54 minutes.
I hope you're right.
He is the key. He is the key. Unfortunately,
I hope you're right. I hope you're
and the next one, they're gonna have another one, and it's just gonna be slow motion, just like fucking.
You know what sucks?
Like Hall and Oates,
7 hours long.
Yeah.
Do you know what sucks?
Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young playing while some dude is walking into a fucking fire. Like, it's just gonna be a fucking pornography fest.
I hope it happens 100%. I loved it. I want more. I want someone to maybe, the leash again.
Yeah.
But here's what sucks. That came out on television. More people than not think this was fantastic. We love these guys and they're doing great. This is a lot of fun. Comes out hyped. HBO's like, I don't know. Like, Warner Bros. Like, I don't know if we can keep doing it but I hope they do. But right after this, do you know what comes out? Fucking Suicide Squad from fucking Gunn, which is going to be fucking amazing no matter what it is.
It does look cool.
They said Sylvester Stallone is Killer Shark he could barely speak. He's like, he got Sylvester Stallone to talk like like Rocky.
Like more like Sylvester Stallone.
That movie's gonna be so fucking good, and Warner Brothers is just gonna be like, it's the same. We just gotta.
And then they're all gonna be rated R because Deadpool and Logan have proven that a rated R
Suicide Squad rated R.
Superhero movie.
Suicide Squad rated R. Yeah.
Which one?
What are you talking about? The last
Suicide
two
Squad rated R.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, they say I'm gonna eat a beach of dicks and dudes get ripped in half. Of course, it's fucking rated R.
I thought that you meant like all the WB movies they make are going to be rated
R.
No,
what I think is more
Snyder.
What I think is more likely, and they should do, is they keep making these movies and these things, and then go, but 8 months from now on HBO Max is the director's cut. Like,
oh god,
just do it
no,
every
we
time.
can't. I can't abide. I think
Snyder, it was a special situation.
You're saying Snyder. I'm saying whoever they get.
Snyder
You'll watch every fucking one. You'll watch every one. And HBO Max, that's all they care about. That's all. They don't give a fuck whether you like it.
I mean, I pay the monthly fee anyway. It doesn't matter what they put on
me
here.
too. Like
I just want to watch. I want to watch Blade 2. I want to watch Blade 2 whenever I want.
Blade 2
I
is
watch
tight.
Intervention. I watch Intervention all the time. Blade 2 is not tight. That's not true. I think Snyder's coming back. I think Snyder's coming back. I think that he is going to continue with this whole thing. I think they're going to beg him to come back. They're going to give him a fucking boatload of money. Affleck's going to come back because they're going to give him a boatload of money, and he is extremely malleable. And then on top of that, Jared Leto's Joker is an abomination. It is embarrassing how bad that Joker is in every moment. He is an amalgamation of what bro dudes think is cool about comic books. He sucks. His badges. Oh, it's like his badges from all the cops he's killed. Zack Snyder's just doing curls, thinking about how cool the Joker's gonna be. God, I hate that fucking guy.
The first Joker with Harley, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it because it was so different and weird looking. This version, I was like, that's fucking cool. But then he was talking, and I was like, no,
he said
say something different.
He said reach around.
That's
in a motion picture.
But that's not what bothered me the most. That reach around line should not have been in. But when Batman comes back with like, well, when Harley Quinn died in my arms, he made me promise to kill you. Every Joker, I don't care what your version is, every Joker goes, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, what the fuck does he care? He's supposed to be an actual psychopath.
The whole nature of Harley Quinn and the Joker is that it's a fucking dependent relationship where she's fucking abused. Joker don't give a single fuck how she died, in whose arms she died in, unless they show that Harley beat his ass beforehand.
Right. So we're ruining. Right, so we're just changing that character so they can have this like cute little back and forth because they're so fucking clever. That whole section sucked. But
this is what I'll say
was good. The epilogue was good.
That Joker written well will be cool. And I don't care if you love or hate Jared Leto, he's a good fucking actor. He's a good actor. And the reason I know why is because I've watched 2 movies, gotten halfway through before I was like, oh, that's fucking Jared.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
I agree. He's a great actor.
Cool who liked the real Joker to do it.
Right. The choices he's making are like borderline insane clown posse. Like they're wild. Like what do we're all just okay with this?
Tattoos, didn't they? Didn't they get rid of
the tattoos? I'm happy the tattoos are gone.
Yeah, they covered it with makeup, I think. Yeah.
He's trying to method act the fucking Joker. I just don't like Jared Leto. I think he's kind of an asshole. But
agree.
His choices, his choices on the Joker, I do not like. Like I don't like any of the things. His laugh sucks. That whole, I mean, obviously it's written in the way that he's supposed to care about Harley Quinn, which is stupid. And then that little back, like, why is he so weirdly sexual? What is happening? Like, what are we doing here?
Like he's playing
Jared Leto
and
further
leaking into the Joker.
Right, yeah. And further, they are just piggybacking on the Heath Ledger Joker fully. Like they are playing off of what you like about Dark Knight.
Blend? I thought it was, this is a little Heath Ledger, this is a little animated Joker. That's what I thought they were going for.
But then but then that dialogue where he's like, "You need me," blah blah blah. That's just from The Dark Knight. Like we're just gonna.
That's from every Batman comic.
That's seriously from everything. Yeah,
but that's been brought into the broad scope of humankind by that movie, and then we're just gonna regurgitate it out and be like, okay, it was so good. People being like, oh, I love that Joker. Like, no, you didn't. You liked Heath Ledger's Joker. That dude was on screen for 6 minutes. Yeah, and then this fucking guy.
But then
over here,
like you were saying about the dialogue, I was like, "This is way cooler. I could get down with this Joker." And then the dialogue went back and forth. I was like, "What? If you guys didn't say, if you just showed the fucking Joker was with you, that would have been way more impactful than him saying anything." Like,
I agree.
Shit's gone real bad. Like everyone's dead. Deathstroke and Batman are teamed up. Like I was saying before, that's always like something. It's always like Undertaker and Kane. They're beating each other up. It's great, but when they team up, it's even greater. That's what it is. And if they just showed Joker, they panned out, showed Joker sitting on the car, the lid of the thing, I would have been like, okay, all right, I want more.
Sean, there's a comment here that says, it's over here. It says, Leto's Joker gives us a real life serial killer vibe. That's inaccurate. That's not true. I disagree with that fully. If he was really a serial killer, he wouldn't have given a shit about Harley Quinn.
Joaquin Phoenix's Joker gives a real serial killer vibe, and that was a really good Joker.
This Joker just seems like a gang member of like the leader of a gang he's in.
I agree. I really think he was trying to mix Heath Ledger with all the best other Jokers, which I think is a good idea. It just got a little fucking.
If you get past the reach around stuff, I liked the conversation him and Batman had. Because the reach around stuff is fucking insane.
I'm talking more the first movie where he just looked like he had like Pete Davidson tattoos on his face.
Yeah. That was the way he looked was kind of stupid, but I didn't. He was in 2 scenes in Suicide Squad. So what the fuck are you gonna judge? Like he wasn't in the movie.
He's the king of Staten Island with like a couple suck ass tattoos on his fucking body. Yeah, fuck that fucking Joker. He's been in 2 movies and he's bad in both of them, and we're all like, we might.
This is a really good point.
It's my same thing with Affleck. I don't think it's Jared Leto's fault. I don't blame.
It's true.
Like I think if Christopher Nolan wrote the Joker scenes with Jared Leto, I think that shit would be fucking dope, and I think Jared Leto would dunk on it.
Well, so
I think he's a great actor.
So Justice League was written by Chris Terrio, right? This movie was written by Chris Terrio and Zack Snyder. And then Man of Steel was written by David S. Goyer, who did all the Dark Knight stuff. So I think
Goyer's great. Goyer's fantastic.
Yeah, so I was kind of looking up who wrote this movie, and it was Chris Terrio, and that's all I remember.
Say what? It definitely wasn't Christopher Nolan who wrote this movie.
No, never not.
So this is a really good point. I kind of hated the fact that they spoiled Joker appearing in the trailer for the Snyder Cut. I think it would have been cooler if they saved the reveal for the actual movie. This is the one thing about this movie is that the whole Snyder Cut thing kind of ruined. I mean, not ruined it, but they gave away so many cool parts. Like Steppenwolf's head getting fucking chopped off. He said that was going to happen. So me seeing it, I was like, oh, cool. They actually did it in the movie. It was so cool.
Did he say it for this? Or was it before they knew there was going to be a Snyder Cut?
It was before, so it's fair.
Snyder just spitefully saying, "Do you know how much cooler it was?"
Yeah, right.
His whole fucking head comes off and it bounces.
Going back to your Thanos Marvel thing, I think that was a dig. Them actually cutting the head off, but at the same time, they do the own thing in Endgame, and Thor cuts his head off 5 minutes into Endgame. So I mean. It's not the point, but I do think that might have been.
But didn't this movie actually technically come out before
very fair.
Game and Infinity War? So like all the stuff that he shot was supposed to be before.
It wouldn't even been.
Snyder was like, "This is what you do." I did it, and it looked awesome, but they're not going to let me do it because I got the fucking pedophile making the movie now. So you guys do it. It'll be sick on the house. We were all thinking it.
Yeah, fair. I was thinking
fair.
Dude,
Joss Whedon sucks.
I will say though,
as a human,
that cutting Steppenwolf's head off and sending it through the portal—that's the hardest ending to a comic book movie.
And then Darkseid just crushes it.
Yeah. This strongest team of world's heroes, we cut motherfuckers' heads off and send them back to the motherfucker who sent them. That's hard. That's
Return
hard
to
as nails.
sender, bitch.
I thought it was
So
kind of
dope.
cute how before they do that, like Superman's just punching the shit out of Steppenwolf on the ground for like 5 minutes, and I was like,
Oh.
in the
I love
background,
that whole
but in the
scene. I love that
background,
whole-
just
well, that's so
rocking
funny
him in
because
the mouth.
like I saw memes that said like somewhere out there Superman's still punching Steppenwolf for.
they were having dialogue. And in the background, Superman's just getting in his licks
Dude.
on fucking Steppenwolf.
Yeah,
Very
that-
Straight up. Superman saying not impressed was so fucking hard.
Hard as balls. Hard.
Eh.
It would have been awesome if they just had like Flash kind of
This was,
in
I
the
think,
background while
coolest-
Superman punches him, like just kind of like so.
Straight up, when shows come back, Ethan is going to say not impressed as a pit call, even though he just said eh. And I will bet $1.
See,
This is
as
not
much
a
as I
shot.
love the not impressed line, I thought this is going to be everyone's actual like line to take from the movie to say what they thought about the movie. I thought this is what Ethan's going to do.
Oh.
This is not a shot. This is not a shot, but I've toured with Body Snatcher. I've heard the not impressed line plenty of
Fair.
times. Trust me.
Fair enough.
I don't need
Fair
to
enough.
redo it. I assure you.
No, I
Yeah,
think this
no.
is the coolest showcase.
Shout out to Bisexual.
I think it was cool how they showcased his freeze breath in this movie.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
like that too.
finally.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's so
yeah.
cool and casual too. Like you just just do a little like quick little blunt, and entire axe is just gone.
Yo,
you
the
know what?
ending-
I've had discussions before where Superman in the movies doesn't need freeze breath. It's just got to be hard breath, like knock people away.
Yeah.
But that use of freeze breath and maybe just doing it the one time, I was all in. I was like, fuck yeah, I'll take
It
freeze
happened.
breath. You can
It
not
happened, and
feel
I was
bad.
like, oh yeah, he fucking freezes things with his breath. That was cool. That's
Yeah.
tight.
And that long and that Spartan kick that he gives Steppenwolf, that was fucking badass.
Them losing, and then the
Yeah.
Flash, the Flash like bringing it all back, etc.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That
let's
was
talk. I want to end on this scene because it is probably one of the
Me and
coolest
Ethan
comic
have
movie
2.5
scenes
more hours
ever.
of fucking content.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No.
We
Come to
will
the after
release
party.
the Metalcore's the Metalcore cut.
Yeah.
It's not a
Sean Mott cut. The Sean Mott
Dude,
cut.
fuck that. The Sean
Joey
Markel would have
cut.
been a half hour long.
Joey's on
you
the
just see
banner's
Sean
Twitter.
and Rob's screen like black, like they've left the chat, and we're still like, "You're an idiot! What are you talking about?"
Joey's on the banner's Twitter talking about how much better his cut would have been. He's like, "Oh, if Sean Mott would have let me fucking
I'm releasing,
do it, it would have
I'm
been
releasing the
sicker."
JSS script. It's like, here's the JSS
Oh
script
my
of the
God.
Snyder cut.
It's just in all caps. It's just me and you fucking screaming at each other.
Yeah, with Sean,
That-
that the reverse scene was awesome. I thought that was like the standout moment. I think for me was like Flash, like all these characters like showed their like worth to the team. Like I think like
Everybody was impactful. Everybody was like, "That's how." Okay, cool. Like
Yeah.
nobody like Little Dick did. Everybody like had.
Because in the Joss Whedon cut, the Flash is like useless. He's fucking
He's
useless.
helping a
He's got, like,
family.
some weird.
He's helping a
He's got some weird
a
stage
family-
fright bullshit.
family that lives in a radioactive area.
Yeah,
because that
the
makes
family,
sense.
the one family that moved into Chernobyl after, they were like, "Oh,
Yeah,
it's cheap.
cool.
We go back. It's fine. It's fine. No big deal." That part was the
Also,
only part
Batman-
of the movie.
Batman
You're
is
just
in,
gonna yell over
in
me, Sean?
half of the fight scene. I'm sorry. You're yelling over everyone else. Fuck you. Batman isn't in any of the heights in the last scene of the Whedon version either. He does the whole crash slow-mo Batmobile thing, and then he's just gone. He's just done.
Yeah, they just forgot about it. And he was like, I can't focus
just like-
on this, dude.
I have a critique. I know what it is. And
What?
It was Batman, Superman. Also, they shoot Batman's fight scenes. Since there's some cool stuff in there, poorly. Like
I
if
agree.
he just angled the camera to show what a fucking ninja Batman is, and even if it's using the cape in this stuff, because a lot of those scenes you just see him moving fast and people flying out of the way. I don't want to see that. I want to see Batman, doing fucking correct. Batman, because you can't watch it you can't get it in the comic books. You train with the League of Assassins. He's in the tier of fighters who go around to fight each other to see who's the baddest ass. Batman's among those with Deathstroke and Lady Shiva.
I mean,
You know what I'm
listen.
saying? I wish they
Also in that
showed
movie,
more of that. is
also
all.
in that movie, the world's greatest detective, Batman, sends an email to Wonder Woman that just says, "Who are you?" in all capital fucking letters.
Yeah, he also
Zack Snyder was really.
This is the guy that
was
rode
really
a horse
playing-
into fucking Iceland when he owns airports and
Carrying
yachts.
25 grand.
Helicopters land on the water. There's ice
Aren't
in
you in
the
a
fucking
rush?
harbor.
It's the end of the fucking world. He's like, this has to be the age of
Well,
heroes.
no, guys.
I'm gonna wipe us out.
You
you got a
know,
horse? I'll take a horse.
I had to
mountain.
stop at the Is there an ATM around? I have to grab $25,000 for these Icelandic people so that they'll be
no
still
sense of
pissed off.
urgency with Batman.
Yeah.
No, I think my favorite like scene of Batman ever is probably his like whole scene of him fighting in the warehouse. Like that's the coolest, like, you know, just shot Batman scene and like up all of like everything Batman I've watched. That's still my favorite. Like top like Batman just murking everybody.
Rob,
I'm gonna let Joey
again.
say.
Watch
I'm gonna let
it again.
Joey say the negative thing about this because
Watch it again. I'm just saying, in the fight scenes, they could be so much cooler. Because when I like Batman, he does his detective shit, he does his thing. But when it comes down to fighting, I want Ninja Batman. I want people just getting overwhelmed, like throwing a punch, backhand, like he's the fucking guy. Like this might just be me because I still thought the fight scenes were cool.
He was kind of
want to see Ninja Batman.
He did that like 3-on-1 kind of. I mean, I remember that scene in BVS, and like he's like fighting like 3 dudes at the same time. So like, what I like about that Batman, I like how that's like, you know, like tactical fighting Batman, but like fucking brawler fighting Batman too. You know, like just this fucking
Agree.
dude.
And that's like, I love when Batman switches. Like you'll see him doing the karate shit, then all of a sudden he's like, you know, like he knows every style. Like that's, and you don't talk about it, you just show it. And you're like, oh yeah, Batman's a fucking gangster. I forgot. He knows every fucking martial art.
Because I would say this fight scene compared to like the freaking horrible like shot action scenes of Nolan's, like you can't see shit in those movies when he's fighting. Like just like
I get why it's like weird with the cape, but you just turn the camera to the other side, you know? Or, I don't know. What the fuck do I know? I don't know anything. I sing. I wrote. I wish I was dead. I don't know anything. I'm not a credible source.
I think you did great. I think you did.
I like Batman. I like Karate Batman.
Big shout out to Daniel DeFonce. He just on the Twitch channel. He just rated us with a bunch of his viewers from his stream. So big shout out to him. Also, I want to the best quote ever.
Bad news. You're 2 hours fucking late, dude. You're 2 hours late.
Is it? He's 2 hours late, or we're an hour and 15 over. Which one is?
It's a good point. Exactly. I do want to bring up that Joey has made Batman the baddest ass, but he's not America's ass. So I mean, there's that.
I almost just went into Marvel mode, but I stopped myself.
Yeah, take it back.
He
just said baddest ass, and I had to say it.
All right, I'm okay. I was gonna just go on a rant about how great Captain America's story arc is in those movies, but I can't. I don't want to. I'm sorry.
Please don't.
If I could,
I'm not gonna do it.
On one thing about the epilogue, I would have liked with the Martian Manhunter coming down to see Bruce in the lake house. Now, I think it would have been cooler if he showed up as General Swanwick and then turned into Martian Manhunter.
Ooh.
I think it would have been cooler if he was
that would have been
fucking Lantern.
Right. That would have been way fucking cooler. Do you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like there could have been, there's a million reasons that a Green Lantern ring could have showed up. Like a million. That could have just been a little thing, you know, because a Green Lantern dies and the ring finds the next dude who, for whatever reason, it knows is pure of heart or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like there was a million points in that where like, you know, like shit was going crazy all over the place. Like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
I agree.
I love Green Lantern. Green Lantern's like up there with Batman. I use one of my favorite, like all of them, like Alan Stewart, Hal Jordan. I like all the Green Lanterns a lot. So I was excited for Dinosaur Green Lantern Man, but
I just an hour ago I watched him get brutally murdered. Actually, while you were talking, I was like,
seconds.
"Oh yeah,
dead as fuck."
Rock. Yeah, he gets deaded.
All the gods were like, "What is this? He's crazy," and then he's finally like, "Oh, he's trash."
It's just some dinosaur. Fuck this fucking dinosaur. Fucking dinosaur.
Yeah, what was that? What was that guy?
Moving forward after this movie, like, what would you guys like to see? Like, I personally I want a good fucking Superman movie after this. I really do.
Man of Steel 2!
I would love to see just a
good
movie. Like,
would be?
It sets up, like, you know, well, shit, I'm back from the dead. Like, how do I, like, handle life back from the dead now as Superman? You know
what?
Cool.
Do you know what my idea?
A Flash movie.
That too. Yeah, I want to see a Flash movie now. Like, I want to see all.
What's happening?
this is what you do.
I want it.
You bring back Eradicator as the villain, like, because Eradicator's job in the Rise of Superman was to maintain Kryptonian culture and life. Now that Superman is all of that, have Eradicator come back and like, well, you're resurrected from fucking Mother Box. You're like, I don't even know if you are a Superman. Am I allowed to keep you? Like, Eradicator is a scary fucking dude, and people forget because after Rise of Superman, they didn't really need him. But he's Zod times 10. He's created to protect Kryptonian stuff. So he's the guy that decides whether Superman is or isn't. You know what I mean? Like, that's and plus he's got Supermanish powers, so it would be, that's what I would fucking do.
Yeah.
But again, I'm the best writer that ever lived, so
we've established that.
You and Ethan just write a Superman movie together, and I just wanted to see that happen on the screen somehow.
We're not polite enough. We're not polite enough to write a Superman movie. Maybe we could write a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but definitely not a Superman movie. You would be telling people to go fuck himself and stuff. It would be terrible.
I disagree. I think we could probably do a Superman movie because we know Superman isn't us. So we'd be
That's
like,
true. Yeah, the opposite
Superman
of
tells
us.
him to suck his dick. Wait, no, he wouldn't.
No,
That's what I would say.
He will say that I will help you. That is all right. Yeah, you're
It's
right. Yeah,
gonna be
that's not what we would say.
Yeah, Ethan, hear me out.
So
What if he's cool? What if he's just like really friendly to the guy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rob is doing a great job.
Got Black Adam, right?
I'm interested.
Black Adam, yeah.
Black Adam, I'm intrigued. I really am. I don't know.
Cast is really cool.
Why the fuck is everybody excited about Pierce Brosnan being casted for fucking anything? Why are we acting like this dude is like below?
You know what? He's perfect. He's perfect for Dr. Fate because Dr. Fate is nothing. Dr. Fate is nothing. Dr. Fate is, I am the fucking Dr. Fate. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Perfect.
I
He's
just
got a
love
British
people being
accent.
like-
That's all you need.
People be like, yo, Pierce Brosnan. Like, what? Like, people just get excited about any comic book casting at all because it's happening, which I get. I get
True.
it.
I was
Never
on board for The Rock as Black Adam though. Like physically, he looks it, but I mean, I just think that The Rock's just too big of like a movie star to like portray that kind of character.
Yeah, I don't think The Rock's a good actor.
I think we're gonna see Black Adam, played by The Rock, and like The Rock's gonna do his voice. And I mean, does he accent? Cool, but I know he can probably do it, but I think he's just gonna be like The Rock.
You know what he has? No one knows enough about Black Adam.
Movie.
Yeah, I don't think anyone knows enough about Black Adam in mass to really give a shit other than us.
It's exactly the same way. It's exactly the same way that Guardians of the Galaxy was. Who the fuck cares?
Can you imagine being? And I was going to say this before. Can you imagine Warner Brothers and Fox and Guardians of the Galaxy comes out and crushes, and they're like, "What the fuck is Guardians of the Galaxy?"
There was a thing on the internet. There was a thing on the internet years ago where, because Warner Brothers was fighting the creation of Wonder Woman movies, they're like, we don't think that the people are ready for a female-fronted superhero film. And that same year, Marvel put out Guardians of the Galaxy. They're like, here's a tree and a fucking raccoon that talks. It's voiced by one of the most fucking popular actors of our time.
Ever.
Like,
All of them. They're all actors.
Yeah, Vin Diesel.
Like stacked. All of them are just like level platinum. Like fucking Groot is Vin Diesel, which in sci-fi world is a huge
just saying I am Groot.
Which goes to show that Warner Brothers has no clue.
Warner Brothers has no clue for this, and they're just like, just do Iron Giant, bro. What if Iron Giant was a tree? Go ahead, Hoss. Take care of it.
Hit him with that. Yo,
it's perfect.
Shazam was not good.
It was fun. It was a cute movie. Like I immediately showed that to my little nephew. Like I enjoyed it the way I enjoy Shrek.
Honestly, when Shazam came out, I was like, dude, where the fuck is this thing going? Like, where is this whole universe going now? Like, what's the tone of this shit? Like, what is?
And he did a good job. That Shazam, I was like, I like this Shazam because Shazam
it's just a Marvel
was always
movie.
like, he's there too. Like right.
I was
like, I liked it. I thought he did a good job with whatever the fuck that was. I was like,
I have a note that I actually liked about the Joss Whedon version, which I can't believe I'm saying this, better than this one, is that I thought that there was more play in the Joss Whedon's version with Wonder Woman. There was more chemistry between Wonder Woman and Batman in the Joss Whedon version.
Oh, you mean
and
sex energy in the Joss Whedon version? Joss Whedon made it
chemistry at all
for no reason.
There was chemistry at all. No, I mean they have a romantic relationship in some capacity at some juncture.
In the comics, they when Batman isn't fucking Catwoman, he's smashing it up with fucking Diana
or someone else.
Exactly. So I'm just saying that like they just cut that entirely out, which I was like, I thought it was I was trying to find positive things about the Joss Whedon version, and that was one of the only parts that I was like, I believe this. I believe this chemistry.
Yeah, I found a couple.
I agree. I kind of remember thinking the same thing. I kind of remember.
And I think one of them was kind of a little like there in this one though, which is weird to say because like she explains the whole back history of Darkseid, but that's kind of it.
That's what I'm saying. Her story arc isn't even present in this movie, but they also have made 2 other fucking Wonder Woman movies. One that was great and one that was horrid. And Sean, like, I don't know, fucking framed the movie poster for her and put it up in his fucking bedroom.
Oh yeah, it's right here.
I hate it. I honestly, that movie wasn't like, this is my favorite movie. I enjoyed it. I mean, I watched it on TV. So that's another thing.
I didn't see it. Wonder Woman 84. I didn't watch it because I saw so many bad reviews. I just thought I don't want to see it. And then Sean said he liked it, so I didn't really want to see it.
I thought it was fun.
Wow.
You know what? I will say.
I'm sorry, Sean.
Like
you burned me when you liked Rise of Skywalker, and we'll have to save that for another day.
Yeah, we better because I'll get violent.
It's not my favorite Star Wars movie, but I enjoyed it.
I want to sit in for that just to see you go off.
I'm not talking about doing a Star Wars.
You missed me and Sean's Twitter Star Wars conversations because they were.
Oh my god!
I was like,
bad.
They're going in.
But in Wonder Woman 84,
it's my least favorite of the new trilogy.
There are podcasts in the world that I won't name because it's not the Metalcore Nerd podcast. There are hours of podcast footage of me just yelling about how much I hate George Lucas's fucking guts. How much I despise his ass because he fucked up the first 3 movies that basically built me into the nerd that's sitting here today, and then he made some garbage. Sorry.
Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah.
Cheetah, when she was in full Cheetah mode, I thought was cool as shit. I thought she was.
She was but she was only there for like 5 minutes.
I'm just saying, I don't care about Cheetah at all. Like in the comics, she shows up with other bad guys as part of a team. She's kind of an asshole. It's fun. But I thought the scary Cheetah monster version of Cheetah and that fight scene, I thought was sick.
Whose biggest wish in the world is to be an apex predator? Like, what the fuck is she talking about?
She was a huge vagina. That's the thing. She's like, I'm a pussy. I want to be the biggest monster. Like, it's simple shit, you know? Like, I'm pushed around. I want to be this crazy monster. But Cheetah is like the 20th animal you pick.
I think
the apex predator,
yeah.
All of the filming for the bad shit that they do in that, when people are like, they don't get the right hoagie, so they wish the guy fucking dies. That was all filmed in Jersey. And Joey
accurate.
And it was accurate. Joey and I. It was Joey.
Yeah.
Because Rob would have been like, I just hope everyone has a nice day. Meanwhile, Joey and I are like, I hope that dude fucking dies.
Literally, it's just me. It's just me taking the sip of my coffee going, they put fucking milk in this. And then the Dunkin' Donuts explodes. Just burning bodies down the street. And everyone's like, that's it. That's Nork. There you go. I'm like, I understand all of this.
Yeah. Southern California is like pretty normal and everyone has tacos. Meanwhile, fucking Belleville, New Jersey is on fire.
The tri-state area is a smoldering crater. It's just like that escalated quickly.
Yeah, the trains are going 1,000,000 miles per hour in Boston, but everyone's fucking dead.
Sorry to bring it back on the movie we're talking about. Kind of.
Fuck you, Rob.
I did actually enjoy Wonder Woman's action sequences in this movie. I thought when she has that like brief fight with Steppenwolf on the little bridge in the tunnel, the whole like how where Snyder like shows her like cutting parademons and shit, like that whole like frame of like and her like putting the rope back around like the shield, like that all looked awesome. And then like
you know what? Her fight choreography, the way her fights were shot, were better than Batman's.
Yeah,
they were.
Yeah,
like you look like you see like, okay, I know what Wonder Woman's all about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
flying and people flying.
When she saves all the kids from like that was cool. Like that whole scene was definitely redone. Like I like Warrior. Yeah. I love Warrior Diana. Like she was just badass. Like when she blows up that guy though.
Okay.
She blows
Here's
that dude
the
up.
thing about Zack Snyder's DC universe. He gives no fucks about human life. Like, that's my one gripe with Man of Steel, is that half of Metropolis is in fucking ash. Same thing with BVS. They're like, oh yeah, people in buildings. I don't give a fuck. They're all dead.
He put them on a hellscape, like always. He put them on a hellscape like he always does for BVS.
But here's the thing. So
the last battle.
My brother was like, I can't deal with Batman killing people. Like, I can't deal with it. I won't stay for it. And my brother's one of 3 people whose opinion I'll listen to. Like okay, I've understood what you said, but you're a moron. And I was like, you're in this world, you're doing this thing. And I'm like, so what is he going to do? Make every bullet a stun bullet and use nets and use blah, blah, blah. And my brother said to me straight up, he goes, Batman, if anyone would do that, Batman would do it. And I was like, fuck. Like,
true.
Oh, like, yeah. As for the buildings collapsing, you're trying to do God fights. You're trying to do because you have a Superman, you have a Wonder Woman. What scares Superman and Wonder Woman? Because even people who don't know comic books know, number one, almost nothing can kill Superman except kryptonite. And right under that, almost nothing can kill Wonder Woman because they're so big and strong. You got to make big fucking things happen, as opposed to Batman, where you would show a lot of people to fight. Superman and Wonder Woman, you got to have big fucking things happen. Batman, you just send ninjas at him. The Flash, you send goons at him, and he karates through, Yeah. Aquaman, kind of similar. I don't know how you would do Aquaman.
Shrimp.
With these
guys, you send him shrimp. You send shrimp at him.
Riding
Willem Dafoe on a shrimp.
You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, you don't. At no point you're like, Superman's not going to win. Like, he's not going to lose. Wonder Woman's not going to lose.
Right.
So you need a building to fall over to knock over 8 other buildings.
And in the grand scheme of things, Superman is fighting a superhero of his equal strength that is
an actual warrior
going to destroy the entire planet. So for his logic, it would probably be like, like a couple buildings in Metropolis. Sorry, Wayne Tower. That sucks. Yeah. But like everyone could just be dead. Like this dude lost his legs. Bummer.
Yeah.
This dude lost his legs. Bummer.
Because you know what? Like, I think about it, and if they did these other things where it's just a guy and he's just doing shit, like, are you scared back? Like, that's the problem with Superman, and it's the same problem with Hulk, and it's the same problem with, like, how do you make these people give a shit that he might lose? Like, he's not going to lose. It's a Superman movie, but you gotta this is like, what do you put against Superman? Fucking Superman. That's the problem. That's why his comics almost always suck. Because he's not going to fucking lose.
Yeah,
He's the joke you make when somebody does something incredible. Like, oh, it's fucking Superman. Like, how do you make what do you fight Superman with? You know what I'm saying? It's got to be like an entire army. It's got to, and it wasn't even one Superman. They sent 3 fucking Supermans. They sent Zod, the chick, and Big Dude. Like, even
Minerva.
Still,
love Big Dude.
You got to be. What is a threat to Superman? You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Can I ask a question that I've been curious about? In the comics, what is it that sends Superman over the edge to the point of working with Darkseid? Like, that always feels like a reach to me. I happen to be watching the part where they're in the movie that I'm watching right now. They're going back they're going forward to the apocalypse scenes, and he's holding Batman's fucking mask in his hand. What makes him doing that?
Darkseid's not there. In that alternate universe, Superman kills Darkseid and he's running Apocalypse.
Okay. Fair.
And that's why they don't show Darkseid. Superman's just like, he goes fucking Anakin and he's just he's like, I'll kill all you motherfuckers.
Wait, so Darkseid puts his hand on his shoulder though, so is that so do we have to assume Superman just
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Darkseid his hand on his shoulder.
I didn't see the hand on the shoulder part, or I missed it. But I know there's been multiple times when Superman goes off the deep end and just kills Darkseid, and he's like, I'm Darkseid. I'm the new big bad.
I'm Darkseid now.
Yeah, like he just, because what's scarier than it goes back to what we were saying before. How do you scare Superman? Even worse, how do you fight Superman?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's the whole thing. He's supposed to succumb to the anti-life equation because he has nothing less to live for, which, it's like a whole nother thing, is that a math equation is the end of all things.
We talked about too. Also,
I believe that.
We have me and
I mean, I did too. I took calculus.
Yeah, no,
Hard
I've
shit.
I've never been to college.
But the one thing I talked to Sean about this the other day was that I showed Sean a tweet that someone talked about this scene, like this whole like premonition of Superman just kind of turning evil. Like I kind of just don't like that. Like I'm kind of over this like evil Superman thing, like.
But it's movies. It's
movies, but it's also the fact that him losing Lois is like what's going to just drive him over the edge. Like we feel like Superman's got a much deeper connection to like planet Earth and like his people than just
he's like holding on by such a thread that like her dying makes him take over the whole fucking world.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm just like, yeah, he's just gonna like lose it because of that. And I thought they were gonna like go into the Injustice storyline a little bit here with this too.
Oh. Yeah,
that's what I thought, because like he was holding a bones in his arm, so I don't know. And based on like the dialogue between Batman and Joker, it seemed like that's right towards like somehow Joker tricked Superman into killing Lois, and Superman, I guess, in a fit of rage or like insanity, blames Batman for it, which is why he's finding all of them.
Rob, did you see the thing where Lois dies in childbirth, and that's why it's so fucking crazy, because they showed the pregnancy test in the scene?
Oh, yep.
Like they're off doing something, and they, whatever reason, they can't get back to Lois in time, and the baby and blah 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 dies. And Darkseid's doing his fucking things, and he's got wizards and robots. Like Darkseid's got the whole fucking, he's got the whole rig, So, and Superman's super susceptible to magic. Like even in the comics now, that's kind of leveled even with the kryptonite. They're like, because it's kryptonite kills Superman, but in the comics, like magic is a real problem as well. Like for whatever reason, Kryptonians just do not do well against magic. But,
there's a really good animated Black Adam movie with Superman in it too. That's like they show like his like how he's affected by magic. It's really good. I don't know, I forget what it's called, but it's a really sick Black Adam like Superman fight also, with Billy Batts running around like not as Shazam.
Watch the video game. The video cutscenes for the Justice League fighting games are actually fucking incredible.
The Injustice one?
Yeah, like there's ones where like
they're
Black
crazy.
Adam like runs up and puts a bunch of kryptonite in Superman's mouth. It's like fucking brutal. It's like Black Adam and Lex Luthor and shit just murdering people. Like they team up. It's like a cutscene, but it's really, really well done.
The Injustice cutscenes are done really well too. Like that whole Injustice storyline is fucking crazy. Like the actual comics that were written, like it goes like off the rails. It like goes from like this like kind of small like thing between Superman and Batman and the League splitting, then it just goes off the rails to like the gods and shit. Like it goes fucking bonkers crazy, and then like then it comes to close in the second game. But that's a crazy like evil Superman storyline, or more god complex Superman, I guess, in that one at that point.
I really like that Wonder Woman calls Superman Kal-El every single time she talks to him. I don't know why I like that.
It's very respectful too. Yeah. Like it's very, it's not like a slight or anything. But she obviously means it very respectfully.
Yeah, I agree.
Is this it, Rob?
Yeah,
Superman Shazam: The Return of Black Adam.
That's a good one. Yeah, because when I remember the watch because he gets hit with it, and Superman just goes like, "Ugh, magic," and like has to get up and like fight this guy that's got magic.
That's pretty sick. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna check that. I'm a big fan of the DC animated movies. They're usually really well done.
I think they touch on it in the Dark Justice League too. I think in that. I think they do.
They do. Yeah, he's all fucked up. Yeah,
like he's the one that goes to Constantine. He's like, bro, we got a real fucking problem. They magicked my shit away, and I'm just a bitch.
Yeah, and he has like kryptonite like stuck in him or something.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's like he like has no powers, but he's still kind of strong. It's weird.
Yeah. The DC animation squad are just fucking like locks. Like they're so
the only thing I don't like is when they change shit they shouldn't change. Like they changed the big twist of Hush, which is the dumbest thing ever because Hush in the comics is awesome.
You can't do the same.
Yeah, don't change that. It was dumb. Yeah. That was stupid. I don't know. Change something else. I don't know. Like no one knows that twist unless you're a comic nerd.
Did they do the Clayface thing?
I think they did. I didn't even watch it because someone told me how it ended after I read it, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to watch that." I don't
remember the cartoon that well, but I know in the comics they retconned it as well. It was mostly Clayface just sneaking around, and I'm just like, Ew. Why would you do that?
Ew. All right. Well,
I love Clayface, but ew.
Okay, let's wrap this up. We've gone for almost 3 hours now. So, any
just real
final
quick,
thoughts on this
everyone
movie?
Stay tuned. Tomorrow, Joey and Ethan's new podcast, Why Are We
Oh
Screaming?
my God.
Starts tomorrow. If you like morons yelling gibberish at each other at the top of their fucking lungs, we might be talking about comic shit. You'll never know. Like
we might just be screaming.
Yeah, it's literally just two people who screaming at each other.
Yeah, exactly. Scream arguably professionally, arguably not professionally.
Professionally screaming about nonsense.
Exactly. Sean, go ahead, wrap it up, dude. Let's go.
Sorry, buddy. I'm sorry.
No, you guys are okay.
I'm sorry, Rob. I'm sorry to both you guys.
Fuck you, Rob.
I get excited.
Don't be sorry.
Please, I would love to.
I'm not sorry, Rob.
I know you had to recover for like a year before you had me back, but I promise I'm really trying. I'm really trying to be a human being.
He's never had me back either, Joey. He's never had me back either.
I haven't had many people back, to be honest. I've only really had.
Yeah,
Dan
no, we
back.
know. You've never had us back, though, is what I'm saying.
I have now. I regret it now.
What
This
if
was
absolute
crazy.
psychopath? He's like, what if we just did it? Like both of them. Like whatever.
Yeah,
What's so
do all
wrong?
at once.
Give
great.
people that think like Ethan a platform, like get their thoughts out. Then we just shut them away for a really long time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I still have my platforms. Don't worry, Rob. I'll be in your dreams. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be in your fucking nightmares from now on.
Nightmare sequence.
Yelling about with a brown jacket on, with a fucking hat on, and I'll just be screaming at you about like all the stuff that you like and why it sucks.
Or
Yeah.
reach around reference in there somewhere.
I mean, naturally.
Yeah.
Okay, anything you guys want to plug or last thoughts? Ethan first.
Plug or last thoughts?
Yes.
Yeah, I have to plug this. I have a live stream that I'm hosting for E1. It's on April 3rd. If you want to buy tickets to it, you can listen to me yell about bands that I vaguely know or arguably don't know at all. You can hear me interview bands that I know and also don't know at all. You should buy that at e1.com. And you can buy a ticket to the live stream. Other than that, yeah, that's it. Don't follow me on my socials because I don't post shit on them. So have at it.
Joey.
Thumbs up.
I have an art Instagram. It's at jss.1. I haven't drawn anything because I've been in a coma for 3 weeks. The Twitter is it's at the banner NJ. My personal one isn't that funny. I save the material.
The banner one is objectively better.
Yeah, it's like if you want to see me be actually mad about real things, it's mostly about the stuff I yelled about here at JSS13. If you want to see me be actually entertaining and try to like put something someone else might care about, the banner NJ.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Let's see, final word here. This
Awesome.
was really
Rob.
This was very fun. I liked the movie a lot. I'm actually overall happy that Snyder got to finish his initial take. But he was overall that's what I'm
2 hours 41 minutes. Rob, I liked the movie.
Yeah.
I liked the movie.
I enjoyed the film. It was pretty good. Yeah.
It was good.
Is there anything you want to plug, Rob?
Yeah, follow my Instagram where I post a lot of guitar videos and cat pictures, and I have a death metal band called Muldrotha. We're based off of Magic the Gathering, and none of our music or lyrics talk about Magic the Gathering. So you can follow that. We just finished an EP. I showed Sean a song from it yesterday, and he didn't like it. So yeah,
Sean who likes everything.
I said I really liked it.
Of course he did.
Terrifying.
He's like, listen, I don't want to blow smoke up your ass, but this is the greatest song about Magic the Gathering I've ever heard in my life. And the sequels are going to be fucking incredible.
Dude,
he's like, I don't know what else they could have done. I don't know. The riffs, they blew my mind. Sean is like 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
That part where you talk about mana, I honestly kind of want to name my kid after your band now. That's how much I love it.
Sam's flipping out. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Yeah, we're not. No, we're not
doing this. This is the end.
Oh my god!
I'm in a band.
I don't like everything, guys.
I'm in a band also. Who cares though? Who gives a fuck?
Are we label mates?
Okay.
Aren't we on the same label?
Yeah,
right?
probably.
Well, no, aren't you guys on E1 now?
Who, us?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all the same fucking thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. It's all
I mean,
Carl.
Carl's not listening. Is Carl listening? Because it's the same thing.
It's been 2 hours and 40 minutes. Carl watched for 30 seconds to make sure I showed up, and then that's it.
And he's
Carl put it on and walked away to play with his gigantic children. He's like, "That was great."
Yes. Oh, you killed it. First daily of Metalcore. You're doing great. He doesn't sound like that at all, by the way. He sounds like
and then he goes, "Is that Joey? Joey was on this? Oh,
Joey's alive?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I put out his records once. Yeah, Sean, thanks for doing this, dude. It felt good to get all this out.
Talk about this shit, and this was fun.
Yeah,
Sean, yes,
you're doing great.
I know I'm so hard on Sean, but you want to know how you know that I really like you? I speak to you. Like that's what. And the only thing I know is like how to be like critical and like, if we're not yelling at each other, are we even talking? But like you're literally like one of my favorite people. Like I follow all your shit, and I know it's always wrong, but I like that you're posting it. I'm like,
Sean, I love your view of the world and of media because I have to know that there's someone that is the antithesis of what I am. Because if you didn't exist, I'm the Joker, you're Batman.
100%.
I'm way less new metal. I'm way less new metal, and I talk about reach arounds way more.
Less.
But
way more.
Ethan said it exactly right. I'm like, I love that this is a person that lives. I love that this exists.
I know. I have to because I'm like, because if I just hated everything except for Taylor Swift and you didn't exist, then what would be the point? What would be the fucking point?
I mean, I take that as a compliment, I guess.
It's a compliment.
It is a compliment. That's as close as you're gonna fucking get. How about that?
That's true.
That's as close as you're
recorded.
getting.
That's true. Yeah. I have this on proof forever on the internet forever.
John, can I ask you a question before we go? Can we do this for Godzilla versus Kong? Can we all get together and review that?
Oh my God, maybe.
Oh,
I feel like that'd be a very bad idea. Maybe I'll think about it.
1 year from today, for the 2-year anniversary of Metalcore Nerd, we will get on here, all four of us. Rob, you can just mute your microphone if you want, and Joey and I will just scream at each other for 4 hours about Star Wars.
You know what? It's funny. It's like the whole video.
God.
I'm screaming. I stare at the screen. I inevitably look up to the top right, see Rob, and I go, "Oh, buddy." I'm like, "I'm sorry, Rob." I'm just jumping all over him, being like,
Hey, dude,
that's so weird.
This is passion for the culture, man. This is why this is awesome. It's just passion for the
so,
But everything
so
you
weird,
said,
Joey.
I agreed with. I like
Joey.
what you were saying. I'm like, that's a great fucking point. I should let him make more, maybe.
Joey, that's so weird because that didn't happen to me one time. So,
No, I love
no.
It's a different. You know what? It's a different biology. You and me. It's an equal energy, but it's got to just be like, juggernaut blob. That's what it is.
I know.
It's
That's what
equal.
it is. Wow, solid fucking nerd reference there. Well played.
Doing it a long time.
All right, Sean, you got a thing.
Okay.
Right.
So yes, I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Dan. This is an awesome Rosie shirt. I think he still has some. Buy them if they are available. I don't really know if they are. Sorry, Dan. But thank you guys so much for watching. There's been a good group of people commenting, watching through this whole thing. If you're listening or watching the replay, thank you for checking this podcast out. If you want to hear more of me being positive about almost everything,
Almost.
dude,
My only critique is I wish it was longer. Why not more?
I do think I said that about WandaVision, to be honest. But
You did.
I have been doing after shows of all the new Marvel shows, and I am planning to do more events like this for more Marvel movies or big comic book movies in the future. Going to do live events with a panel of people. Probably not join Ethan together ever again because it's a terrible idea.
You want to know why?
Listen to our
Me and
podcast.
Ethan's podcast. You can't get us. All right.
You can't afford us, honey. You can't afford us, honey.
Right to the top.
Right to the
Absolute
top.
lunatics.
My favorite murder, but with nerd shit, but murdering each other.
Yeah.
That's us.
Yes, but I am currently doing a Falcon the Winter Soldier after show. The episode 2 will go on Monday, which is the actual year of anniversary of when I dropped the first 3 episodes, 2 of which include Joey and Ethan. So if you want to go listen to more of me and Ethan arguing about Avengers Endgame, you can listen to that podcast because we go in hard for sure. And yeah, if you want to hear more about me ranting about, not really ranting, more about talking about how much I love comic book stuff, then check out more of the podcast and follow everything. And like I mentioned in the beginning, you can go to metalcorners.com, use the code birthday, and you can get 50% off on all merch. And I guess until Monday, if you guys come back, or you guys hate me forever for making you, I guess I didn't make anyone do this, for endearing this almost 3 hours of utter nonsense. Until next time, this is Metalcore Nerds.
We almost